What's up, y'all? We are live. I want to talk about this Tank Davis still ducking Lomachenko. Now, Tank Davis has been ducking Lomachenko for years now. 3 or 4 years now, this man been ducking Lomachenko. Lomachenko has been calling out Tank Davis for a while now. See, I was on H Money channel trying to, get this point out. And, H Money, he does what he does and get all into his emotions and get all ramped up and want to call people out their names, try to challenge you to a fight over the internet. That's what these guys do over the internet. They're going to challenge you to a fight over the internet. I'm not going to challenge you to no fight over no internet. If I see you face to face, I know what you say on this internet, you're not going to do it. I know that. So I try to get the point out that Tank Davis, in my opinion, he has not fought anybody. Now, he took it as I was saying that all the guys who he beat, like Leo Santa Cruz, Pazadra, Cruz, who he fought this past couple weeks ago or last week, he made it seem like I was calling them guys bums. No, I'm not calling those guys bums, right? I'm just telling you that he hasn't fought anybody where he's going to go in the ring and people say, well, Tank Davis is going to lose this fight. Or this is a 50-50 fight. Tank Davis is 27 years old, right? 27 wins, 26 wins, 24 KOs. One of the highest, KO percentages, you know what I'm saying? Either past or present fighters. One of the highest. So, and what people want to tell me is Tank is this big star. He's this big star. He's this big star. Now, he want to say Tank is a big star because he's selling out 15,000 at the arena. That's fine. He's selling out 15,000 at the arena. In the arena, I'm not putting nothing past. I'm not taking nothing away from him. They won't give out his past pay-per-view numbers with this Cruz fight. You know what I'm saying? Usually the pay-per-view numbers come out. If the pay-per-view numbers are good, they usually come out, start trickling out kind of fast. You know what I'm saying? I guess they don't want to divulge these pay-per-view numbers. Even though Leonard Ellaby and Floyd Mayweather, they always about the pay-per-view numbers and what Tank is doing on pay-per-view versus all these other guys like the lightweight guys like Lomachenko, Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia. So they always say that Tank is above them and he's a star and all of this. Fine. He still haven't fought anybody. He fought an old Gamboa who tore his Achilles, and Gamboa went 9 rounds. I think he tore his Achilles in like round 2 or 3 or something like that. He clearly had something wrong with his leg. He knocked out Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz had never been stopped. That's a great win. That's a good win. You know what I'm saying? Pazadra is a good win. Cruz is a good win. H Money want to say, well, Cruz was a top 10 lightweight. That's fine. That's fine as Cruz was a top 10 lightweight. Let's look at the lightweights. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Ring Magazine and look at the top lightweights in Ring Magazine. And we're going to see the top lightweights, you know what I'm saying, in Ring Magazine. I think I went through it I looked at it yesterday. But I'm going to go through it again. I'm going to look at the lightweights. Let's go to the lightweights. 135. Now, we know George Kambosos. He was fighting. Him and Teofimo Lopez was busy. Lomachenko had signed a fight with Comey. Haney was busy with Jojo Diaz. Ryan Garcia, he has mental health. Comey was fighting Vasiliy Lomachenko. Jojo Diaz was number 6. He was busy. Jorge Linares, I don't know if he was busy or not, but I doubt it. Fortuna, he wasn't busy. I don't think he was busy with a fight. He fought Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz, number 9. And Will Zepeda. I don't know who that is, but William Zepeda, who's undefeated. Okay, so he fought the number 9 lightweight. And Fortuna, number 8. Jorge Linares, number 7. And Jojo Diaz, like I said, Jojo Diaz, Richard Comey, Ryan Garcia, and Devin Haney. All those guys were busy. So he fought the next best guy. Okay, that's fine. Give it up to him that he fought the next best guy. Why have he fought Lomachenko? And Lomachenko been calling him out for 3 or 4 years. And Teofimo Lopez fought Lomachenko, and Lopez is 3 or 4 years younger than Tank Davis. See, Tank Davis is 27. People fail to realize he's 27. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia, I believe, is 23. No more than 23 or 24. Like I said, Devin Haney is like 23. Timofimo Lopez is like 23, 24. Shakur Stevenson is like 24. Those guys are 3 and 4 years below Tank Davis. Tank Davis should not even be lumped up in the same class as them. Tank Davis should be at least head above these guys. Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, has a better resume than Tank Davis and 3 or 4 years younger. And he fought Lomachenko at the age where Lomachenko was calling out Tank Davis, because Lomachenko was calling out Tank Davis when he was like 22, 23, the same age which Teofimo Lopez ended up fighting Lomachenko. See, that's the kind of stuff that bothers me, is when the guy that's out there, that's the best guy on your resume, and you're not fighting the guy. You're not fighting Lomachenko. And Lomachenko called you out again this weekend. He's been chasing down Tank Davis for, like I said, 3 or 4 years. It's interviews dating 3 or 4 years ago where Lomachenko is calling out Tank Davis. Why haven't Tank Davis took the fight? Because I'm telling you right now, if Mayweather called Lomachenko representatives and say, y'all can get the fight with Tank Davis, I guarantee you Lomachenko will take the fight. See, I was trying to get that through H Money thick head yesterday. His big, thick brick head yesterday, when he was screaming to the top of his lungs with all that woman energy, that female energy with, I do this to you. Man, you ain't gonna do nothing. Just sit down and be quiet. You know what I'm saying? When a person starts doing all that, man, you got to wonder, where's their mental capacity at? Like, where are you at mentally in life? You got something going on? That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has things, go through trials and tribulations in life. And yeah, I came on your platform to voice my opinion on the topic that y'all were talking about, speaking on. You left the link in the description. You've been on my page before. I had you came on my page and you talked before. When you came to my page, I let you speak. I didn't, I'm gonna beat you, I'm gonna slap you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Why would I even go there? Like I said, if you don't like the fact that I say Tank Davis hasn't fought anybody, Tank Davis has not fought anybody. Now what? When he fights somebody, wake me up. Now, he fought the Cruz guy, right? You admitted that a lot of people say that, some people say that Cruz won, right? Okay, some people say that Cruz won. You think Mayweather and them came out of that fight happy that that fight was considered a close fight? I don't think so. I think a lot of people calling for him to fight Cruz again. And now, you know, Tank Davis said if he fight Cruz again, he'll knock him out. Okay, why you didn't do it the first time? He said he hurt his hand, right? Okay, you hurt your hand. That's what fighting is all about. People get injured. It happens. You're not the only person that ever got injured in a boxing match or injured their hand. Plenty of people injured their hand. I can't give you no excuses. It is what it is. You got in the ring with the guy. You pushed the guy, you know what I'm saying, in the press conference. Disrespected the guy by putting your hands on him in the press conference. And the guy fought you tooth and nail. You know, Mayweather upset because he thought the fight wasn't close. The guy had a pretty good performance versus Tank Davis. Tank Davis does not deserve or should not be on pay-per-view. Tank Davis he's not even close to the face of boxing, first of all. Canelo, and even some people that Canelo fight on pay-per-view, you can look like, what the heck? If you'd have brought somebody, like, let's say, for instance, Canelo fought the number 10 super middleweight in the world, the number 10 super middleweight in the world, and say, okay, I'm gonna fight him on pay-per-view. people gonna be like, what? I'm gonna be the same way. Like, what? You fighting who on pay-per-view? No, 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 no. You don't get to bring a top 10 contender as a champion to pay-per-view. That's atrocious. And like I said, Tank Davis is atrocious. He's been clearly ducking the fade. What's up? He's been clearly ducking the fade with Lomachenko for 3 or 4 years. Somebody tell me different. I want someone to tell me what's different. If I'm not telling the truth, that Lomachenko has been calling out Tank Davis since Tank Davis was like 22, 23 years old. Why haven't he took the fight yet? I know Lomachenko going to dominate Tank Davis. That's what I do know, because I know Lomachenko will be able to notify his power. They both about the same height. What's up, Zon? They're both about the same height. Lomachenko, the way he moves in and out, and Lomachenko doesn't. Now, the only fighter I've seen Lomachenko struggle against, and that was Tio. And I don't give Lomachenko no excuse for saying his shoulder was hurt. I don't think it was his shoulder. I just think the fact that Tio was very sharp that day. He had a lot. He had a lot of power. He had a nice jab in Lomachenko face. He fought long, and he fought poise in that fight. And I think that's what gave Lomachenko, that's what gave Lomachenko a lot of problems. But Tank Davis, he presents power, the same thing that Tio presented versus Lomachenko, but he doesn't have the length. And I know that Lomachenko will be able to get on the inside of Tank Davis, just like he would be able to get on the inside of Devin Haney, because Devin Haney, although he got a good jab, it's not one of those jabs that keeps you at bay, because Jojo Diaz was able to get in. Jojo Diaz was able to collapse the pocket and get in on he was able to collapse the pocket and get in on Devin Haney. So Lomachenko is still a problem for these guys at 135. Lomachenko, yes, he got beat by Tio. The last 3 or 4 rounds he tried to come on, it was way too late. He gave up way too many rounds in the first 6 rounds, 6, 7 rounds. But he's still a problem at lightweight for all these guys. I mean, George Kambosos. If Lomachenko and Tio fight again, I don't know who's gonna win that fight. I mean, you will probably favor Tio because of what he did in the first fight, but seeing what happened towards the end of that fight, I think Lomachenko will pick up from there and try to get on the inside, because it seemed like, and it looked like in that fight, when you push Teofimo Lopez back, he has problems. He has problems with his back foot game. At least in that fight, it showed in that fight. And that fight was at the highest level, the toughest opponent that he fought up to date. And he didn't look good on his back foot. Excuse me. He looked good coming forward, but he didn't look good on his back foot. And like I said, I don't care who has a problem with it. Tank Davis hasn't fought anybody to me. He should be, his resume should have more meat on the bones by now. The man, 27 years old. What's the problem? I look at these past fighters like Oscar and even Thomas Hearns and even other fighters that by the time they was 24, 25, 26, they were fighting the fight of their career. De La Hoya at 26 was fighting Tito Trinidad at 26. They met at 26. At 26. At 22, 23, De La Hoya was fighting people like Janelle Hernandez. He was the first one to beat Janelle Hernandez, by the way. But they always give Mayweather more credit for beating Janelle Hernandez. I don't know why. De La Hoya beat him first and made him stop on his stool. He stopped Janelle Hernandez on his stool. I seen that fight a little while ago. Not a little while ago, a long time ago. But if I remember, he stopped Janelle Hernandez on his stool. I know he stopped him. Let me look it up, man. I know he stopped him because I remember looking at the fight. And Oscar was fighting. Oscar, man, say what you want about Oscar. That motherfucker was fighting people. You know what I'm saying? And he was fighting people early. See, that's how you know when you really got somebody who you really believe in. Your promoter really believe in you. He was fighting. Let me see. That what's the name fight? I'm gonna go back to that Gerald Hernandez fight. Let me see that Janelle Hernandez fight. Yeah, he retired him on his stool. Just like I said, he was the first person to beat Janelle Hernandez. He fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And I believe I'm not junior, senior. I believe he fought. What's up, Zone? I got you 2 times up in here, Zone. Can you hear me? You got yourself on mute. But he fought Janelle Hernandez a couple times. I mean, not Janelle Hernandez, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.
Yeah, B-Talk.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm here. I was just switching over from my phone. I ain't want to say nothing and make all that noise. But go ahead, keep cooking. I'm here. Okay. I disagree with you about the Tank and Lomachenko, though. But go ahead.
Okay. So De La Hoya was fighting guys before the age of 25. He fought Pernell Whitaker, all-time great. He fought Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., all-time great. Jesse James Lehar was a really good fighter back then. Like I said, Janelle Hernandez. Who else he fought? He fought this one other. Hold on. Hector Camacho. Excuse me, I'm getting a cold, man. He fought Ike Corte. Excuse me. I believe he was 25 by the time he fought Ike Corte. Ubakar. So, but before the age of 27, he had fought Phoenix Trinidad, Ubakar, Ike Corte, Chavez Sr., Hector Camacho, Pernell Whitaker, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., Jesse James Lehar. He fought these guys before the age of 27, man. So I don't understand what's taking the Charlo so long, Demetrius Andrade so long. What are taking these guys? So these guys are in their 30s, man. By the time, to me, if you that guy who people think you are, before you even get to the age of 27, 28, 29, 30, you should have if not an ATG win, something close to it. You should. Or you should be in a division where you dominate in a division. Because you don't have look, in my opinion, you don't have to always move up. You do not have to always move up to prove your greatness. Right? You can sit in one division and you can rule. You know what I'm saying? Hopkins made his Hall of Fame career about ruling in the middleweight division. You know what I'm saying? Who else? It's guys like my guy that fought Sugar Ray Leonard. He ruled.
Marvin Hagler
ruled in middleweight and made his Hall of Fame career there. Never moved. So
well, that's a habit for the 160s though. I mean, 160s usually have. I mean, you total. All right, so when you look at B-Hop and you look at Monzon and you look at Hagler, I mean, those 3 guys take a lot of time and dominance within the middleweight division. You know what I'm saying? We already know they usually wait for those welterweights with those big names to come up historically. So I'm not surprised at that for middleweights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then we got to consider a lot of these transitional divisions. You're talking about Oscar De La Hoya, and I'm not taking away from the fact that it exists because it exists. I mean, he started off at 130.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then you got the opportunity to hit 140. Then you got an opportunity to hit 154. I mean, so it's not like these guys are Sugar Ray Robinson or Henry Armstrong where they coming from the pure 135, the pure 147, and the pure 160. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You got to think they got that 154 in between which allows a lot of guys to stall. And this is the issue with Tank and everybody, period, across the board. First off, these guys are only going to fight twice a year at best. One, because they're concerned about their health. A lot of people are not going to ignore what they believe they saw with their Muhammad Ali and his deterioration. Your James Tonys, your Buster Douglas, your Holyfields, their eyes look all puffy, droopy. You know what I'm saying? These guys really are concerned about their health these days. These are not guys that, when me and you made Generation X and the millennials was growing up and the baby boomers was growing up, you hurt somebody tell you just go lay down and drink some water. Well, you can't be doing that now. We grew up at a time where we could be left at home and do your homework and fix you a plate until mama come home. You can't do that no more. These kids and these men that have grown up, man, they're about self-preservation. It's not about laying it all on the table, guts and glories, machismo, trying to be the best that you can be, like a Sugar Ray Leonard and a Thomas Hearns and those group of guys, or Roberto Duran. These guys are into self-preservation, and they got the attitude to where, shoot, if a fight happens, it happens, because they pay it regardless, which is true. Back then, Sugar Ray Leonard and them, they got big paydays, but we know their biggest paydays came from the best competition. Now these guys are getting 1 million, 2 million, 700K, 800K just to fight a Kovalowskis, who's good, but he's not great. They fighting Algiers and guys like that, Paulie Malignaggi's. Those are simple, easy, comfortable fights to get a payday to say, hey, I was busy this year. You know what I'm saying? And I only got to fight twice a year because I just got $1 million at the beginning of the year. If you fight again for another $1 million, man, you just made $2 million. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it a buck. You just two fights in a year. That's $2 million, and you could be with your kids. If you got kids, school time happens. The COVID thing happened. It's a lot of reason, man. Then the Mayweather blueprint, Oscar De La Hoya blueprint, the Manny Pacquiao blueprint, all these guys that was getting these big paydays in these lower weight classes, they set a different type of precedent and a different type of example. If you take away 130, these transitional divisions, that 140, and put these guys where they're supposed to go, you'll have a different situation. Like 140 and 147 should be together, right? That's not too far-fetched. So you will have a different pile of welterweights. You know what I'm saying? 154 and 160 should be together. All those guys at 154 should either be at welterweight or they should be at 160. So with multiple belts, multiple weight classes, with guys only fighting twice a year to preserve their health and themselves, and the payouts, and the personality disputes, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it a buck with it is what it is. You just gotta hope that your favorite fighter at least give you the 2-fight minimum that they usually give us. And that's not even including, even when they did give you the 2-fight minimum, at some point these fighters are going to take 2 to 3 years off. Because even you mentioned Oscar De La Hoya now. Oscar De La Hoya flirted with retirement a couple of times. Trinidad retired as well too after De La Hoya. They took a hiatus. So this ain't like, it's not like these guys wasn't taking time off either.
Yeah. Look. I get you, but what I'm saying is, look how much work De La Hoya put in before he was even 27 years old. The man put in so much work with the Camacho, with the Pernell Whitaker. Remember how young he was when he fought Pernell Whitaker. Remember how young he was when he had the Camacho. He fought Jesse James Lear. He was the first person to beat Janelle Hernandez. He stopped him on his stool, but everybody give a lot of credit for Mayweather for beating him. It's like, look, Mayweather, look what he did against Janelle Hernandez. Okay, well, De La Hoya beat him first. So what I'm saying is De La Hoya put in so much work. See, Bob Arum looked at De La Hoya and said, I got me one. And
he ever cleaned out a division. Those guys, that's another
now he may not ever clean out a division because he kept moving up. He kept moving up. That's
my point. They all, like, I mean, De La Hoya is cut from the Tank Davis situation, manipulating your opponent, selecting your opponent. Yeah, we like the way Oscar did it better. We like the way A Cotto did it better, but essentially they're cut from that same cloth. And I say that was Thomas Hearns who really started that a little bit, because Thomas Hearns was the one who had the power, who was supposed to be the it guy. He got stopped, and he started to transition up those weight classes because of his height and started to pick off different titles. But when you talking about what De La Hoya did, or anybody that's cut from that cloth, a multi-belt champion, I mean, it's multiple belts, it's multiple divisions, and they didn't clean out no division. Pacquiao ain't cleaned out no division. He never cleaned out a division. Mayweather never cleaned out a division. De La Hoya never cleaned out a division.
What about hold on? What about welterweight when him and Trinidad was cleaning out welterweight?
Yeah, Trinidad cleaned out welterweight, not De La Hoya.
Yeah, Trinidad. Because Trinidad started his career at welterweight.
Right. That's my point. So the people who are sitting down working in their divisions and sitting on, like, one thing I like about Terrence Crawford is a hybrid. He's a new age type of fighter to me. He's something brand new and something interesting. He and Usyk are different to me. Not even Canelo. Canelo got more of the Floyd bloodline in him, more of the pick your poison, float around the divisions, use the WBC and Suleiman to manipulate the system. The green belt is the best belt, all that kind of crap right there, right? But Terrence Crawford is actually moving up, sitting in a division, cleaning it out, moving up, cleaning it out, moving up, and he's trying to clean out 147, and he's doing a good job at it. He's the person that I gravitate toward too, for us the new era of what I used to like. Marvin Hagler cleaning out the division, reigning for 7 years. Monzon reigning for 7 years. Bernard Hopkins, multiple defenses, four belt era undisputed champion. One of 6. You see what I'm saying? So, I think Terrence Crawford would fit the bill. And I know you like Terrence Crawford, and I'm saying that he will give you more of that nostalgia that you would want, because the rest of these guys just simply not going to do it.
Go ahead, Phil.
What's up, man? My mic coming in clear or what?
Yeah.
Big Phil, what's up, Brian? Okay, he in here.
Yeah, man. I'm in here, man. I'm just listening to you boys cook, man, giving a nice little history lesson, man. Yeah, man, I just want to speak on the Tank Davis, still the title, still ducking Lomachenko. Look, man, let me say this right here. It's no secret that, let me first of all say this right here, right? The 135-pound division, it is what I've always thought it was. It's a division full of rich talent. And the truth be told, we don't know who the best person in the division is, because the talent is that rich in that division. I think all those guys have the ability to capitalize and beat one another on any given night, which to me is personally, that's good for boxing, right? We don't want any guy just to be completely dominant. We want to see good fights. We want to see the best fight the best, always. Now, the only problem with the 135-pound division is we're not getting that currently, right? Good news, considering Tank Davis, is that he says his weight class is 135. That's where he believes he should be. He believes that he can be the most efficient at that weight. And I think that's good news for boxing. Now, I don't know if it's a ploy, because it realizes how rich the division is. And these guys are calling his name at that division, right? So that could also be, manipulation, mind games by Tank Davis and Mayweather, but you just never know. Lomachenko, on the other hand, we do realize at 135, he's kind of at his threshold, right? But I think Lomachenko is doing it the right way. He's coming back in. He's fighting top-tier opponents. In Comey, he fought Nakatani before that. I wouldn't necessarily say he's top-tier, but I will say that he is a difficult opponent to assess, right? He does give fighters issues, but Lomachenko took care of him with no problems. Although I will say this right here, in that division, I want to jump to Devin Haney. I think out of the recent guys who just fought, I think Devin Haney probably fought the better out of all the opponents, excluding the Kambosos and obviously Lopez fight, right? So, look, man, let me say this right here. I think Tank Davis is a great fighter, but I don't think he's been fighting the kind of competition I would prefer to see him fight. His name has been attached to Lomachenko's name for quite some time, as though the rest of these guys at 135 have attached their names to Lomachenko. Even with Lomachenko not having a single belt, some people still believe that he's the best in the division. I can't argue with that. The guy lost to Lopez. One loss doesn't determine what kind of fighter you are. It's how you bounce back. And I think Lomachenko right now is setting himself up to potentially become the guy in that division again. But it's a lot of guys out there, man. You know, Kambosos just jumped on the scene, and the kid can scratch. You know, and right now he has all the straps. Lomachenko wants to see him. Devin Haney wants to see him. Obviously, I think Lopez to say he's going to move up to 140 pounds. So, you know, it's making some room for some potential great fights. We just need to make sure these guys, we put the pressure on them and these guys make these fights.
Go ahead, Boss Nodges.
Oh man, I just jumped on, bro. I don't even know what's the topic or nothing, bro. I'm listening right now.
We just talking about Tank Davis still ducking Lomachenko.
Yeah, and really, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, as far as the ducking thing is concerned, I think Tank himself personally would not mind fighting Lomachenko, right? Now the way they're moving him, the way they're doing his career, I think may have more so to do with that than it does with Tank just not wanting to get in there and fight Lomachenko. I mean, but as we all know, it's several different ways you can duck a fighter, whether it's directly or indirectly, whether it's you, whether it's your management, whether it's your promotional team, whether it's you trying to use a network for an excuse. I mean, but with all that being said, I do think it's about time that Tank Davis fights one of these top guys at 135. It's about that time right now. And whether it be Lomachenko, whether it be Haney, whether it be Kambosos, whether it be, I mean, it don't matter. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter. He just needs to get in there with an elite guy that's going to push him to that threshold so we can see if he is as great as he believes he is, as his team Mayweather believes he is, and a lot of people in the boxing community believes he is.
Yeah, I think Tank shouldn't really have no problem fighting these guys either far as winning. I don't know. Anytime Mayweather is involved, it's going to be a strategy, man. And I mean, when I say a strategy, the longest fucking strategy goddamn the universe can present. So anything dealing with Mayweather, man, is really just on some acquired taste shit, like a shot of vodka or something like that. Because whatever his hands on, man, he gonna try to play like he the fucking smartest, most strategic chess player of all fucking time. Like, it take him and whatever Leonard Ellerby be doing like forever to goddamn just fucking fight, man. And I know how Floyd Mayweather do. I watched him long enough. I watched Leonard Ellerby lame ass go around talking nonsense about strategy and what it's really about and what it ain't about. So Tank would probably get let loose if he was with a Bob Arum or somebody who's a little bit more aggressive who didn't mind putting him in there. But Floyd let the guy sit around too much. I don't like that because Tank, to me, get out of shape. He ballooned up a little bit too much in weight. I think Bob, in my opinion, Aaron would be a better fit for a guy like Tank because Tank is a guy that just fits Bob Arum's management style. Bob Arum like those aggressive, strong guys, and he usually get them off to a good start. Like Bob Arum usually don't sit on aggressive fighters. He really do a justice for you as a fighter in your prime. And speaking of Mayweather, that's what Bob Arum did to Mayweather. he put Mayweather out on that track. Mayweather was out there, had hands. At the time when Bob Arum had him, nobody complained about Floyd Mayweather and his hands and whooping the piss out of people. De La Hoya, when he was with Bob Arum, to your point earlier, boxing B-Talk, a lot of that was Bob Arum. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who was with Bob Arum, Cotto was fighting like a motherfucker. Margarito was fighting like a motherfucker. Pacquiao was fighting. Bob will put you.
Hey, y'all finish cooking. I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. So Bob Arum will put you on that track, man. And it's just sometimes these kids got to get with the right promoter, man, that's going to put them out there and allow them to fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even look at Terrence Crawford. I mean, we get Terrence Crawford a lot of props. And Terrence Crawford is doing his thing, but at the end of the day, that's still all under Bob Arum now. So if he leave Bob Arum, let's see if there's going to be a change in his behavior. Because Al Haymon give you that money. Al Haymon started having you rethinking your life with the case that he delivering.
See, man, I think, man, with Tank, man, I don't even think, like, I personally don't feel like him as a fighter, like, just kind of, because I kind of, like, really, I ain't gonna lie, but at first, man, I never would listen to Tank Davis interviews because it just, you know, he punch drunk, slur talking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, man, this nigga, I don't know. You know what I mean? But then I really started listening to him. I don't really think he'll duck anybody. I think it's more so like Floyd pulling the strings over there. You know what I mean? And it's like he got a guy, if carefully guided, he could go to the top and make some stuff happen. But you know what I'm saying? I personally feel like he really picked the wrong guy. You know what I'm saying? I think he probably should have picked Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that really was around when he was a little kid in his gym, growing up in his gym. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about him, he's not an exciting fighter to people like that. So he's looking for that exciting fighter, like a little mini Mike Tyson type fighter. You know what I'm saying? That he can kind of guide. But I mean, the way he moving, man, like, dude, like, I don't know, man. Like, this protecting shit, man. I hope all these protecting fights, man, that he trying to make people pay $70 for, man. I hope they all do shitty numbers, all of them. That way he can stop putting them on. You know what I'm saying? Well, that was my last point, man. Like he could have, like, cause when you stop doing them shitty fights, and he'll do like a fuck around and move up to 140 again, do a Josh Taylor fight or a Kambosos Haney winner fight, and see how the pay-per-view numbers do on that. Niggas will stop putting on these shitty fights because they'll see it's a big difference when you put on two top guys, you know what I'm saying, and what numbers do, if that's what you're looking for, than when you put on a top guy and a guy that's kind of unknown to people. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's my spiel, bro. Go ahead.
Hey, let me ask you a quick question, though, boxologist. So I know you said he probably would do better like a guy with like Haney. Are you specifically speaking about like because Haney's style? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't think Bill
No, not his style. I just think Haney's attitude and his confidence as a boxer, like to where he's a fighter that can really just kind of build up some early points and coast in a fight, to where if it is a struggle, you know what I'm saying, he can squeak out decisions. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes with Davis, it's like, dude, you might have to knock a nigga out. And if it's like, if it go to distance, he might fuck around and lose. With Haney, you might even, you know what I'm saying, you're more confident in getting a decision. So if Floyd had Haney, he'll be more confident in that putting him against, you know what I'm saying, more elite competition, these better boxers, you know what I'm saying, than he probably would with Tank, you know what I'm saying? But Haney's not the exciting guy like Tank is, so that's why he's rolling with Tank as that kind of entertaining attraction. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, the reason why I asked you is because I'll be honest with you, I don't think Bill would allow Devin to be moved the way Tank is being moved right now. Because I get this sense out of Bill and Devin that all they want to do is fight against the best people. It don't matter if they think they're outmatched, if they think the guy is better than them. You know, their whole goal is, to me, seems as though that they've been striving to prove that they're the best fighter at that division. You know what I mean? I just think strategically, I think the goals that have been set by the Haney family are very, very aggressive. And I think they understand the aspect of do as much as you can early, get that respect that you need early. And even if you do take a loss, it doesn't even matter because you didn't put the work in. You know what I mean? I don't think they care about, obviously they want to win every fight, but I think they under the cloth of the old fighters. Like if we lose, so what? Doesn't mean, we're still not a good camp. Doesn't mean I'm still not a good fighter. I just think right now, I think the reason why Floyd has a guy like Tank is because he can move Tank however he wants to, and Tank is going to give him his utter and complete trust, right? Versus with Haney, Bill is going to have a say-so in that because, that's his dad. That's his trainer. That's somebody that he believes in. And as you can see, man, Bill is the kind of guy that brings other people into the camp to work on things with Devin that he doesn't feel as though he can maximize. So they just had that kind of relationship, man. And I think a guy like Floyd, if they trusted him, considering they've been around him for so long, it's not like he wasn't promoting in, right? The guys decided to go with Matchroom and DAZN because they knew Eddie Hearn was going to be the guy that was going to strategically follow the game plan that those guys wanted, and that's to be super duper aggressive and to prove that they're the best fighter in the world. That's why I asked you that question.
No, yeah, no, I can dig it, but I think, I think that would actually be a good combination, man. You know what I'm saying? Because him having that attitude, like, look, what I'm saying? Even if he had both dudes, what I'm saying, he carried one of the guys where he's like, all right, cool. I'm going to kind of carefully manage this dude's career and set him on a collision course with him, but I'm going to match him with these other dudes as well. You know what I'm saying? But his dad having that confidence, like, look, man, we'll take on the best. It don't matter if we win, lose, draw. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, I'm sure it'll be enough for him to get that, Ryan Garcia fight. You know what I mean? Or a Lopez fight. You feel me? Or a Cambosis fight. It'll be enough for him to get them type of fights. Because those dudes hold Floyd in high regard. You feel me? So I think, you know what I'm saying? Just I think where he's at is a good move where he's at. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, man, one thing I do respect Eddie Hearn about is no matter what, man, he gonna get you a title. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, he gonna get you a title, no matter if dudes is ducking you or nothing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? His guys, he gonna make him a champion somehow. You feel me? But yeah, man, I just want to see them niggas fight, man. Like, shit, at the end of the day, man, like, dude, the big fights are the ones we want to see, bro. Like, I don't want to see Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, or Lomachenko fight a nigga, bro, I ain't never heard of, or a person we not calling. I think this is where boxing gets it wrong, man. We want to see the fights that the fans want to see. They're the consumers. If they're calling for it, like if you're about to throw a party, you know what I'm saying, and it's a passion party or some shit, right? And you throw and like you compare there's all these other passion parties people, but all the people that go to passion parties at this point in time, like them little flower things, you know what I'm saying? And like that's what they want to be available at the passion parties. But then, nigga, you ain't got nothing but fucking dildos and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like ain't what people asking for. Give people what they're asking for. They're the consumer. You know what I'm saying? They fucking up boxing like that, bro. And we're asking for this fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? Haney Cambosis unification. Don't give me no fucking Haney.
Man, what kind of goddamn gay ass metaphor is that, man?
I don't know, bro. I ain't been up high, bro. Shit,
man. Oh my god, oh man, you sleepy, man.
But anyway, bro, listen,
man, I don't care how high you are. I don't know what that is.
But listen, man, look. The whole point I'm trying to make, man, stick with me, man. The whole point I'm trying to make is give us what we want as consumers of the sport, bro. Because we're paying for the shit. Whether it's a subscription, a pay-per-view, nigga, whatever, nigga, we're paying for the shit. So just give us what we're asking for.
I think they passed that. I think that this year, so like I believe that there's nowhere to go. They all put themselves in a situation where they've all fought. Tank's fault, Lomachenko's fault, Cambosa's fault, and they all within the same time frame. So really, to be honest with you, if you're a fan and you engage in the next few fights after this point, if it ain't amongst each other, then that's really just gonna be on you because they all fought, they all clear. We could go into 2022 with multiple fights between multiple people. It could be Lomo versus Cambosa, which Lomo trying to slide up under anybody. He trying to get back in the mix. He'll go to Australia and fight Cambosa. That's going to be a good fight. I believe that fight get made. Haney, Tank, the combination of Shakur, they need to get in the mix and they need to go ahead and see what happened. Ryan Garcia need to come back off his hiatus. So those four guys can mix it up. So let's just see, I guess, in 2022 what these guys are trying to put on the table. And if we don't like it, I mean, what's to really talk about? I mean, it's really losing steam. Boxing somewhat has lost steam, I feel, over the last year anyway. So let's just see how it go. Let's see how it go.
One thing I do like about the end of this year, though, all the guys fought, man. Everybody got a fight in. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. A lot of people got a fight in between the months of August and December. You know what I'm saying? And like with this new year, bro, like I really think, man, we're gonna see some unification, man. But I want to ask y'all, man, do y'all think when guys become the undisputed champion, do y'all think they should defend? And if so, how many times? Or do y'all think they should drop the straps, you know what I'm saying, and move up? What y'all think because of the sanction fees?
Say that one more time, but say that question one more time, Box Office.
Do y'all think like if a man like going into 2022, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of moving forward, if a fighter becomes the undisputed champion in a division and he's the type, you know what I'm saying, that's kind of capable of moving up, do y'all think he should move up and drop all the belts because of the sanction fees, or y'all think he should stay there and defend the belts? And if so, how many times? What do y'all what say y'all?
Shit, in this era, I'm good if you collect them all and vacate after that. Because when you collect undisputed, you pretty much cleaned out the division. You know what I'm saying? We're in the era where there was just one title before the WBA and the WC split. You know what I'm saying? And even when they split and they still was together, I mean, you pretty much cleaned out the division and the you was undisputed, but the ranking system was consolidated too. So it was always like John the Beast Mugabe up next for Hearns. Like it never stopped because it was one trail. So when a guy had his undisputed run and he completes it, because there's so many rankings, it's 40 niggas that can be in the rankings at one given time because it's 4 sectioning bodies. And plus we talking about the ring if you want to consider that. Nah, man, you clean it out and like Terrence Crawford and like Canelo did. You know what I'm saying? I think those are good scenarios and those are good situations.
I think if this is what I would say, if a person becomes undisputed and there's nobody that the fans are like calling for, you know what I'm saying? Like it's really a super number one contender. He just so happened didn't have a belt. If they calling for that fight, I think that fighter should fight the number one guy and then move out the division. Or I think he should just move straight out the division if there's no like marquee name down in the division that they're calling for that didn't have a belt. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. I think, you know, either or, you know what I mean? Because, you know, sometimes, man, we still in a world where shit, you can get all the belts, but shit, you might not even fought the very, very best in the division. Or the majority of people might not think the belt holder or the belt holders is the very best in the division, you know?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think Crawford did a good job with that at 135. I looked to the left and to the right. I didn't see anything down there where he
you mean 140?
No, 135.
I'm talking about undisputed.
No, I'm just talking about period. Like so with Terrence Crawford.
No, I was just speaking solely on undisputed though. Yeah.
Right.
I feel you on that.
Yeah. And you mentioned belts and the cachet attached with the belt. So the implication there is, for example, we know you disagree with Canelo not necessarily fighting the best at 168, right? So the question is about.
No, I think he did fight a lot of the best at once.
Okay, he fell off. I'll let him get back in so he can explain his point. So I'm gonna just hold that right there. Y'all go ahead and cook until you get back in. All right, Boxology, you back in?
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, no,
I
no. I think
yeah.
Canelo did fight some of the best at 160. I just don't think that he fought the. If somebody were to ask me, did I think that he fought the best guy at there? I don't think he fought the best guy there, but I do think he fought the guys like in the top five for sure, in my opinion.
Right. So exactly. So Canelo undisputed. He fought the best guys that was in that division. Um, but Crawford, let's take a 135 plus the 140. A lot of people feel like he cleaned out the division, but the competition was questionable. So you got a two-part series, man. You got this belt situation, the cachet and the value of the belt. Then you got this cachet with the value on who you like as a person, like who you think supposed to be dangerous as a fighter. And that's the problem. I like to stick with what the belts are doing. Although they're corrupt, I mean, hell, the niggas who you like are corrupt. So it's like the documentation gonna be conversation. So I like a guy to go ahead and stay the course and get the belts and stay away from the foolishness with other guys and their personalities and shit like that. Cause like if we were to say somebody at 168 was the best, like whose opponent that can be considered the best that Canelo didn't fight at 168?
Well, see, I mean, but some people might still like with David Benavidez. Some people still look at him like as the rightful WBC champion. Although even acknowledging, yeah, he fucked up. You know what I'm saying, with weight and drugs and all that shit. But you know what I'm saying, people still look at it like because he's undefeated, nobody dethroned him as the man at 168. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
so
so yeah,
but that's
fuck ups are a part of the sports. See, and that's why it's important in life. That's why they emphasize student athlete. Um, we could consider that, but your injury and your lack of discipline is an attribute to you as a player. So when you build a player profile, you're gonna look at his height, reach, his winning record, winning percentage, KO percentage, his projected power and agility and speed, kind of like a video game. Discipline and injury is a part of that. If a guy don't do all that skill shit and messes run up, that's on him. So he ain't the best because he ain't fought nobody to prove that he's
hey,
no best.
look, I agree with you. All that stuff is
Yeah.
a part of it, but also putting yourself in position to get that shot, you know what I'm saying, also plays a part of it too. So we're
Yeah, he
gonna
should have
follow all
lost
the
the belt.
rules. We're
Yeah,
gonna
he should
follow
have lost
all of them. You know what I'm saying? So even though he did mess up, he did put himself, and this we can't deny, he did put himself back into position to contend for his title. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Benavidez ain't good at all. That nigga ain't proved shit. He just a motherfucker with bad discipline problems. I'm not finna sit here and keep making excuses for these niggas. And we talking about these dudes ain't hard to fight and we criticizing everybody else. Nah, fuck him. Get your shit together. You ain't got nothing else to do all day but sit home and box and watch YouTube all day. You get paid millions of dollars. So yeah, fuck him. I don't give a fuck about no David Benavidez. David Benavidez don't validate shit for Canelo. It ain't no fraud. It ain't no hustle or no fly talk that a nigga can implement. Benavidez no fucking well. Benavidez need to go fight some fucking body. That's what he need to do. That's when next time he fight. We don't even fucking know. You know what I'm saying? So nah, fuck Benavidez. Canelo did his thing and cleaned that motherfucker out. If I can argue this. I'm starting to think Benavidez is talking, and I believe he's scared because it don't make no sense for a nigga to wake up every day knowing he got to make weight, knowing he need to stay away from dope and disciplinary infractions, and you continue to do it. That man grown as hell, man. That man got a brother that boxing all this shit. He gave his story on how long he been boxing and blah, blah, blah. Man, that man know better than this shit. So when a nigga keep getting in trouble like that, like Adrian Broner, it means that he's running from somebody. And he wants to have a built-in excuse every single time. So now, fuck Benavidez. Get your shit together.
My man, nigga is WBC mandatory. So we gonna see what's gonna happen, man. A lot of niggas be questioning shit to get exercise and shit happening. So
Yeah, I
we
like
should see
that.
some good fights in 22.
Hell yeah, that's a good one. You know what I'm saying? That Canelo go up here and make some more history and try to get this cruiserweight out of the equation. And then let me tell you an example. I ain't gonna just get on Benavidez. Let's say they make him a mandatory, and Canelo go up here and fucking with this cruiserweight shit, and he try to come back down to 168. I'm not gonna want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear that. Oh, he went up there because Roy did the same thing. So I don't want to hear that shit. If Canelo going up there out his way to go to cruiserweight to make history, and if he gets stopped, and then he fight Benavidez and Benavidez stop him. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear it.
Hey man, I just want to see the fights, man. Shit, he stopped that nigga. I'm getting nigga full credit. Shit, I ain't got no problem. Hey man, I give credit. Nigga beating Trout, nigga full credit. Beating Laura, full credit, man. Shit, nigga beat good fighters. Plant, I like Plant. Shit, Plant. I like Plant. Shit, I don't know what the fuck everybody else be talking about, man. That nigga good boxer to me. So a lot of people can't beat him. I got him beating Jamel Charlo for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Plant. Yeah, that'll be a good one. Plant with one of them shadows. Yeah,
I
don't know. They retiring? They don't want to fight at all.
That nigga said he rich, man. He said I'm rich already, man. Ain't gotta fight no more. Shit, he about to drop the belt. I just want the nigga. Like, that's my whole thing with some of these dudes, bro. If you ain't got the belt, I really don't, bro. Fight whoever you want to fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? If it's on a popularity shit, fight whoever you want to fight. But if it's guys, man, trying to unify and become undisputed, man, hey, don't hold the belts hostage. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm gonna have issue with that. But if that ain't the case, man, fight whoever. So, man, I don't know what them niggas on, man. Shit, everybody, man, that dude ain't even vocal, bro. People ain't even talking about it.
Who?
Charlo. Like, you Google News on Charlo, bro, ain't shit gonna come up, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
but Charlo is not, alone in the middleweight. Like, Google anybody, nothing comes up. Like, the whole 160 division is like Jaime Munguia right now.
Bro, way more shit come up on Andrade and Jaime Munguia than it does on fucking Charlo and Triple
Andrade
G
ain't doing a
right
damn
now.
thing with his entire career. Forget like right now. He ain't
Bro, I'm
done
talking
shit.
about, I'm talking about right. Fuck all that shit, man. Fuck all that dumb shit.
Saying right now,
bro.
who's about to fight?
Fuck all that dumb shit.
Who's
I'm
about
talking about
no,
right
for
now.
real.
Right now,
Who's
all these
Andrade
niggas
fighting?
is fighting, bro. All these niggas is fighting equal level niggas. Let's cut the bullshit, okay? Nigga,
That's
Jason
what I'm
Quigley
saying.
ain't no
That's exactly
fucking
my
better
point.
than no
That's my
fucking Billy
point, bro.
Joe. Bro, these niggas are the same, bro.
Billy Joe Saunders at 160. All I'm saying is, when it
Niggas
comes
the
to
same,
160 division, right now nobody's making noise. There's nobody that stands out amongst the mediocrity. It just seems that they're all doing some mediocre shit. I don't know, like, why you need to focus on Charlo or Andrade or Triple G or Murata or any fucking else at 160. Like, nobody doing shit at 160.
That's my thing. Triple G, he literally hasn't fought all year. Why are motherfuckers still calling for this nigga to fight Canelo for a third time, bro? And he about to be 40. Why?
I'm not calling for that. I haven't heard anybody call for that. Did I talk?
No, I'm talking about on the thing, bro. On the fucking, like, they throw his name in the Canelo shit, nigga, like the golden ticket and shit. And after everybody's post fight, the people that's interviewing these dudes at 160, 168, it's just throwing them that nigga name in there, bro. They ain't even fought all year.
Oh no, I haven't heard. I mean, you're not saying nobody does it, but I mean, I think
you ain't been hearing Chris Eubanks say, I want to fight Triple G. Jaime Munguia, I want to fight Triple G. Charlo, I want to fight Triple G. All these people calling for Triple G
versus Canelo, right? You said Triple G versus Canelo a third time.
No, I'm saying they're calling for the Triple G fight, and then the fucking commentators calling for.
You throwing me off a little bit. You saying hold on. You said they're calling for a third Triple G fight with Canelo.
The commentators.
Oh no, and I was saying I ain't really heard that. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard it. That's all I was saying. Everybody else, I heard the Andrade and Triple G, the Murata and Triple G. Yeah, I heard Triple G with his middleweights, Dick should be fighting, but I ain't heard the part three to Canelo Triple G. It feel like that don't fizzed out. I might be wrong. I don't know who wrote that.
Yeah,
That
there was
nigga Chris
some
Mannix,
buzz
Chris
around.
Mannix talk about that shit all the time.
There was some buzz around Charlo Andrade, but they just sort of squelched it. Like the last Charlo performance, I like, you know, that squelched a bunch of his fire. Andrade is still, you know, Andrade fighting over at the zone. Nobody's really, you know, nobody really watches his fights. The people he's fighting aren't compelling. They're not exciting. That last one was all right. His last scrap was, it was like that. He did a pretty straight left hand drop, dude. It was all right. But yeah, there's just like, I don't know what they need. Like somebody go fight Jaime Munguia, I guess. I guess he's the one. He's like, Jaime Munguia is the man to beat now. Like all the champions are just like, they chill. They're happy. They're content.
Man, how am I get trying to fight losers? You look to
I
fight
idiot.
Darenchenko. I wonder how that shit gonna play out now. Now Darenchenko lost because they wasn't expecting that shit. You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna get a straight shot at Charlo, or is he gonna be like, oh man, let me get another tune up? You know what I'm saying, or what? Thanks, baby.
I don't know. I don't have him beating him, but you know, at least I don't know. He doesn't seem like complacent. I don't know that
dude,
Charlo's necessarily
man,
complacent. It seems like he's just cashing the checks, right? Like
I ain't
seems
gonna
like he's
cap,
one of
bro.
those Fox that, you know, he's one of, sorry, not Fox, but PBC stars that like his championship fights are like part of their contract network deal or something, that kind of stuff. He just seems like a contract fighter.
Man, that dude, Jaime Munguia, he confusing to me, bro. Like this dude can straight up, bro, got a straight shot at a title right now, bro, and won't take it, bro. Like I ain't never heard of a contender that like, and this is what's weird because I like looked up the sanctioning body, like the fees and shit, bro. You got to pay like thousands of dollars, you know what I'm saying, like thousands a month to be in their sanctioning bodies, bro. And like this dude will pay thousands of dollars to be in a WBO #1 contender spot and actually have a shot on the line and reject the shot, bro.
Well, to me, the biggest guy that flies under the radar on this is one Dillian White, and I can't knock the hustle. My man has done pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view, never had a champion, never fought for a world title, and turned down a unification for millions of dollars.
Who didn't fight for a world title?
Dillian White.
Yes, he did.
Hell no, he hasn't.
Bro, he fought Joshua for a world title.
No, he did not. He fought him for the vacant British title. Like neither, like Joshua, he wasn't even ranked then. Like that dude, like ranked.
Did he fight White after Joshua fought Charles Martin?
I mean, he might have fought somebody. He fought like Robert Zelanius for like a silver title. He fought like Malcolm Tan.
He ain't seen Dillian White since he had that IBF. Since he got that IBF title, off your boy Curtis. Not Curtis.
That's AJ. No, that's AJ. AJ got that title.
Oh, yeah,
Dillian White has never had a championship fight. Let me listen. Yeah, like I said, I'm not knocking the hustle. I know the hustle. Like I got to respect it, right? Like I'm respecting it. I have to know the details of it in order to respect it, right? That's what I'm saying. My man is out there cashing pay-per-view checks. Derek Chisora. Joseph Parker, you name the dude, Lucas Brown, like you name the fucking screw, like Marius Wack, Povetkin, he's doing all that.
But then at the same time though, bro, to get Dillian White, bro, a shot, bro, they manipulating the system to get that nigga shot, my nigga. Let's not play no games, bro. The nigga wait, bro. I know, but what I'm saying is. Right now, he's the #1 mandatory for the WBC, right? Now, the way that shit's supposed to go, bro, once you get your ass knocked the fuck out, you supposed to go down a few notches, bro. And then even if you avenge your loss, you should have to work your way up a little bit more, bro, before you get a title shot. You know what I'm saying? So they even putting this dude in line to get one, bro. He lucky, you know what I'm saying? He got some good people behind him, bro, because I don't even think he deserves a shot right now, honestly. That nigga just got knocked out, bro. Like last year. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit fresh, nigga. How you #1 contender, bro? You just got your ass put to sleep, nigga. Shit.
because Wilder was the number one contender, but right, and then like Wilder just went to sleep.
But that's a
A
rematch,
lot more
bro.
recently, right?
That's a title shot rematch, bro. That man gave him a
Yeah,
shot
I'm just saying
first.
he
It wouldn't
went
be
into
no
that fight. I'm
it,
just saying he went into that fight the number one guy. Like Dillian White had the belt, right? So because he got the belt off of, was it like
no, Dylan White
Stevens?
ain't had no belt. Remember, he never got a title
No,
shot. He had no
no. I'm
belt.
saying, but he got the that interim title. So he had an interim title, so he was outside of the rankings. You know how WBC politics works, right? So he got the interim shit off of the Rivas fight, and so like once Wilder lost the belt, he became the number one guy. But then he got knocked out. He was supposed to be the mandatory, but then he decided he's gonna play around and try to fool the people, and went with old man Povetkin, and Povetkin assassinated that dude. And now, yeah, like Wilder lost, but he lost. I don't know who he's supposed to be. Like your boy. I guess maybe Andy Ruiz should be up there. He just beat Chris Arreola.
Yeah, I think Andy should be up there, man. They should give Andy another shot, bro. At least on at the WBC side, man.
Yeah,
I like Andy, man. Andy can be champion. I'm mad they
yeah.
trying to
I
get us
mean,
to
Robert
pay fucking.
Helenius and knocking out Kovnowski. That no one saw that thing coming. So maybe like Andy and Kovnowski, Andy and Wilder, Andy and somebody. I don't know. It's just that the guys. It's the heavyweight division. Guys lose. They
Man,
feel
I'm
like they're the
hearing
champion.
I keep hearing everybody keep saying Wilder gonna retire, man. What's up with that? What y'all
He
think
went on
about
Kevin
that?
Hart and said he talked to his daughter and retirement came up, and so people have to talk about Wilder, or they did. I don't know if he seems to be less of a topic, right?
If he retired, man, where do y'all rank him amongst all heavyweights?
And never fight again.
Never.
Above John Ruiz. Champions. Above Michael Moore. I'm just thinking champions I saw. Above Tommy Morrison. Above Shannon Briggs. Above Maester Verne. Where we at?
Outside the top 100.
Oh yeah, definitely outside the top 100. I mean, top 100 heavyweights, not top 100 heavyweights.
Man,
But maybe not heavyweight
man.
champions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't. It depends on how you do it, I guess. Like I do mine by eras, right? So like I can't put him outside the top 100 by eras, but maybe top 100 heavyweights of all time.
Man, listen. Okay, Lee, I think you talking about Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I know, but that's 15-round era for me. Like I don't.
No, but I'm just saying, you said all time. You see,
I understand, but like Muhammad Ali, I don't think could literally deal with Jack Johnson's time, right? Like I don't put those guys. Like I separate eras out.
But
I don't think Muhammad Ali's doing 40 rounds with Joe Jeanette with Sam Langford, right? I don't think he's doing that.
Okay, so he will be out of the top 100 damn near of all time. But when you say era and you're gonna put a caveat on it, you mean in this era? Like what's this era? You mean up into
let's go with 12 rounds, I guess. Like at least 12 rounds and not same day weigh-ins. So, well, I guess for heavyweight don't matter. So whatever.
Shimon, what I'm asking you is what's the era? Because I ain't finna put him.
I'm saying at least 12 rounds, at least 12 rounds, not 15 rounds, right?
I got you on the 12 rounds, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying this man with Tommy Gunn and all them. I'm not saying he in that era with Dokes and Tubbs and Tyson and Bone Crusher Smith and Burbick. No, he's not with them. He's not with them.
No, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like before, if you're gonna go all time, I'm just saying at least.
That's what you asked.
I got you, bro. Like I'm just saying, if you're gonna go all time, I like to separate eras, and then one of the conditions, just in general, is the difference between 12 rounds, 15 rounds, and like 100 rounds, right? Like those seem like different eras altogether, different.
Smoke, I heard you. I got what you said.
Right. So now, if you want more specific, right? Like
so where we got him in the 80s and up.
I'm saying at all times. What do you got to make? That's what Smoke is doing. I'm asking you, of all time, where you got this guy really ranked? Because that's gonna give you a real perspective. Because all that breaking it down, that's cool if you have a little bit more understanding of preference and you feel it's. Of all time is when we say all time. Come on, we're not gonna change.
Yeah, but then you say 100 rounds. But then you say it's top 100.
I'm not Smoke. I'm not talking to you. I'm asking somebody else. You already told us what you want. I'm not disputing how you do it. I'm saying who else And how else would you rank it? When you say all time to me, I'm just simply saying all time heavyweights. He's not probably gonna make the top 100.
Oof. I don't know. That's a big claim.
Yeah,
He's got, all right. So let me see. Let me do this. Like,
no, just do. Look, I can do. Let's do this. If you just go by 3, you can name trilogies and triangles, right? And it's gonna come with 3 to 4 motherfuckers in that already. So if you name about 5, so if you say Holyfield, Mike Tyson, you know Lennox in now. So that's 3 off the top. Now we're not talking about, well, damn, if those 3 are there, what made Holyfield so good at heavyweight? Who did he beat outside of those guys? And then all these other fucking names gonna come up. You see what I'm saying? Good.
Yeah, so it's hard because, like, all right, so the guys that he's are still fighting, right? So
too. Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, God damn. And then you got George Foreman.
Hey, what's the white boy that kept
Fury's still fighting, right?
hitting Bowe in the nuts?
Yeah, Galata. So that's what I'm saying, man. You got a lot. It's a point where you can just name like Sonny Liston, or we ain't even talking about Rocky Marciano. We're not talking about all them guys. We just talking about just this 90s shit, brother.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, let's do that. I'm down. I'm down. Like I'm saying, like even from 90s to now, you can even go 80s if you want. Top 100. I mean, you can
it won't be 100. It won't be 100 if we just don't limit it. I'm saying then I gotta bring it down to top 10. When you slice it like that, I always gotta do a top 10. Now, if you
the top 10 is there's no way it's top. Like,
okay, so there's no way top 10. Hold on, now we just doing one era. I'm just telling you it's 10. So you said no way for 10. Now what about the top 20?
No, are we just talking about the 90s?
What you just said, what the standard you just said, you said 80s, 90s. You didn't even put the 70s.
All right, so right, we're good. I'm talking like Muhammad Ali fighting Leon Spinks from then on.
Yeah, okay.
You got Bone Crusher Smith.
Okay, so Sonny Liston now. So you talking about Sonny Liston?
Sonny Liston ain't in the 80s. Sonny Liston been gone.
No, I thought you started from Muhammad Ali on down.
No, I said Muhammad Ali, Leon Spinks, 1980.
Oh, you gonna cut Muhammad Ali? Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. But he's not in the top 10, and he's not in the top 20.
Nah. I'm just saying that era. I'm just saying 80s is when Muhammad Ali was the last fight. He wasn't good, but he was still like the champ, right?
Do you think he's in the top? Then do you think Wilder make the top 30?
Yeah, all right. Like, top 20. Let me just go to top 20 right quick. Let me just go through this. Let me just go through this right quick, because the WBA was like trash. They kept. I mean, it wasn't trash. It's just like the guys.
Hey, real quick. I kind of dipped off for a second. What we doing here?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Fill him in while I think.
Okay, cool. Go get your top. He asked, Boxologist asked, I think, if Wilder was to retire right now, where would he rank amongst the all-time heavyweight? And I was like, shit, he probably won't make no top 100 with that. Smoke said, nah, that's too many. Smoke said, nah, we bringing it down to certain areas. I mean, eras. Smoke said he do his by eras. So then we just got it down to, like, you know, the Mike Tyson, the Holyfields, and all them kind of like recent guys. And Smoke like,
nah, I think he's definitely top 25. I got him top 25. If we go for, yeah, I got it. I think he's top. I think he makes the top 25 list.
All right. So with just a quarter of
now you do know. Now I'm gonna say this one thing though. I want you to think. I don't know if it means something to you. Maybe it do. Maybe it don't. But he only has ever won one belt in a 4-belt era. Remember that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything, because a lot of people didn't win.
Hey, look. Like I said, I don't know if it's gonna mean something to you or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but in the 4-belt era, how many guys have had more than one belt? That's what I'm saying. Like, you're only talking about 2 guys.
To some old school guys, I'm just gonna say this. Maybe Blood can even. I wish he was online, but so some guys, he may not never even been a champion, in a
No,
one
I hear
belt,
you.
two
Right.
belt era, bro.
Oh,
Right.
I'm
You know
saying,
what I'm saying?
I
You know what I'm
listen.
saying?
I'm with you. I think he's very lucky to be in the era that he's in. Like very lucky, right? So
I'm just saying, bro.
I put that on there. I put that in there, but at the same time, I can't transport him to those other eras.
Right,
So
you absolutely, yeah, you can't. So he's not it, but this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Off the muscle, you say he ain't top 25. Now
I
we
said,
just
maybe, I
doing
said I
this
put him in
era.
there. I'm gonna put him there. I'm gonna put him somewhere in the top 25.
I got you. That's with one era. So imagine if we expand on that. But you see what I'm saying? So we already got 25 with just quick with one little era. So imagine
Okay,
if we
so
expand on that, man. Not gonna make it because we can do another round of 25, 3 more times. And
but
you
I'm
like,
just
yeah,
saying, bro. Like you got a
man.
6'7" guy that punches like a mule. Like trying to fit this dude in like the 50s. Who knows what the hell he'd do?
Man,
I have no
I ain't
idea.
trying to. I'm not trying
You
to
know what I
fit
mean?
them in nothing. What I'm saying is, I'm giving everybody credit for what they did in the era. So
In the era, okay,
I don't
like that,
have
like that.
to. You see what I'm saying? I
Okay,
got
no,
where you're
I
coming
feel you.
from.
I feel you.
Yeah,
I
so
feel you.
I don't have to imagine. I'm not. Well, Wilder should fight Muhammad Ali. No, I'm not playing that game.
Yeah, no, I
Muhammad
feel you. I
Ali,
feel you. No, I feel
right?
you.
Muhammad Ali accomplished what he accomplished against the fighters that were credible. That's what I'm saying. So when I'm
So,
doing that, I'm looking at.
all right.
Go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right, so under that metric, right? So Chris Arreola would fought for however many champions, right? He fought that guy. Yeah, I think he fought Vitaly and he fought Bermane Stiverne.
Yes,
Um,
Stone stopped him.
and he fought like the former
Stopped.
champion and Andy Ruiz,
Wilder
right?
stopped him.
Yeah, right. So Bermane Stiverne, he was like a thrower from Vitaly's era. Yeah, I mean, I don't know like, who was legitimate that he could have fought that didn't. I guess Povetkin.
He could have fought Klitschko. He could have fought Klitschko. But
No, I'm saying, I mean, sure, if Klitschko wanted to fight, I mean, I don't think either one of them wanted that fight in the time that they could have happened, right? Like it's only like maybe a 6 month.
You said what could he have done?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
I got it. But it's more than Klitschko too. I'm just saying, Klitschko's the big one, right? And like Klitschko and AJ are the big ones.
Well, he could have fought AJ and he could have actually just beat Fury instead of getting stopped by Fury twice.
But he did fight him. But we said, but who do you fight? But I mean, what happens in fights happens in fights. We're talking about who you face, right?
Yeah, I'm just telling you.
Joe Frazier got stopped. Joe Frazier lost twice to Muhammad Ali, but he still faced him, right?
No, what I'm saying is, you asked me what he could have done. I'm just telling you he could have actually made the fight with AJ.
Well, okay. I mean, we're talking about like what you do in your era and the guys you fight and the knockoff, and so we're looking at the competition that's out there that he did fight, and then the competition that's out there that he didn't fight. So
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about his era.
Can I intervene real quick? Can I intervene?
Yeah, I'm just naming all the fighters in his era.
So I think it's more to. So the problem, we're talking about Wilder, right? The problem with him is the simple fact that I don't think he's only fought one guy in this era that's really even worth mentioning. That's the biggest knock on him. Like, we're not really worried about the Areolas and the Stiverns and all those guys because, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, your legacy is determined by obviously your opponents, right? And your legacy is determined by who you are available to fight within your time span or whatever the time it is you're in the division. His biggest problem is that you can only name one guy right now out of the top 5 heavyweights that Deontay Wilder have fought.
Right.
And that's the biggest issue with him because he let Klitschko escape.
I just said it.
He let Klitschko escape. He still haven't fought AJ. He still haven't fought Dillian White.
Yeah, but I mean, you cut me off to say the same thing I'm saying though. Like, so, but what you're doing though is downplaying who did fight, and we can't do that. We can't like nobody cares about Bermane Stiverne. Hold on, because I wasn't even done cooking, and really you're repeating what I was just saying anyway.
Okay,
but without saying we don't care about who he fought, right? You get like whether or not you cared whether or not he fought Bermane Stiverne. Bermane Stiverne was the champion at the time, and not only that,
I didn't say he didn't care.
Projected to beat Vitaly when Vitaly, like whatever, decided that he wasn't gonna fight no more after like 2 years, right? Like Bermane Stiverne wasn't as like he's not sexy like that, but he is a guy available in the era, right?
Yeah, but he suck.
I mean, not compared to the people who are out there. Like, we're doing eras.
Yeah, but I mean, you saying that he is a guy that's available, that's out there that he fought, but yeah, but I mean, he still sucks.
I mean, Charles Martin sucked, right? I mean, if we're doing eras and we're comparing guys to like Joseph Parker sucked, right? Like, the fact that like whether or not a guy sucked or didn't suck, that's a different thing.
Smoke. This is what I'm saying right here. I understand what you're saying, and you're naming Bermane Stiverne. I get it. Bermane Stiverne or Bermane Stiverne, however you want to pronounce his name. I get it. He was a ex-champion, right? But at the end of the day, just because you're a champion, you hold a strap, doesn't mean, people are just, like, oh, this guy was a wonderful fighter. We give you what they call actual credit, and then we give you what the fuck we talking about right now. You see what I'm saying? Now, he gets the actual credit for being a champion, but what we're talking about was this dude a good fucking fighter? Is his name worthy of being thrown into this conversation to add or take away from Deontay Wilder's era or legacy? When we talk about Deontay Wilder's era, I don't think anybody's going to mention fucking Bermane Stiverne. That's my point.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they mention fucking Joseph Parker, I don't know why they wouldn't mention Bermane Stiverne.
Well, you just stated that he ain't in the top 25 off the top. I mean, and that's I'm cool with that. I'm just making my point that it's real hard to put Wilder in there based on what these fellas are saying. That's why I was trying to tell you earlier, Smoke. I understand what you're saying. I don't need the rebuttal or to figure out why you disagree. I'm just trying to get everybody understanding on their position so I can be like, okay, that's what his criteria is. Your criteria is yours. But what Boxology said was a good point. He said some people are going to look at the fact and question that should he have even been a champion for real anyway. You see what I'm saying? Because Vasiliy relinquished the belt, and then it falls into a matchup between Ariel and Stiverne. That's just established something new. But the real champ at that point was Vladimir.
Yeah, but I say the same thing about those two guys. I don't think that
listen, Smoke, I got you. Then what happened? He got the belt or had a chance to fight the guy who we're talking about, and he didn't do it. So it ain't a knock on him. We heard the same stuff you heard, Smoke. We're just putting it on the table to say, yeah, that's why not for me. It ain't really a debate or. I mean, I hear. Nobody asking you, man. They telling you. If I can put it like that,
right. Listen, and everybody's list is their list, right? There's not an empirical right or wrong answer to the top 100. I'm just saying there's probably, depending on how you squint your eyes close enough, you could probably squeeze them in the top 100 all the time.
No, depends on how you do it. You can't even get them in 25. And
check this out. Hey, so let me make a case. Let me make a case how you could.
Hey, hold on. Let me make a case. Let me try to give you a different perspective real quick. Okay, yeah. Are you aware of a boxer named Lamar Clark? Yes or no? It's a quick yes or no, bro. Don't type him up. You need to know him or you don't.
I'm gonna say I don't know him. This is
all right. So check it out. All right. So check it out. Lamar Clark was a heavyweight professional fighter. This is a fact. And Deontay Wilder right now is 42-2 with 41 KOs. Lamar Clark was 43-2 with 42 KOs. And Muhammad Ali beat him in his 7th fight. So what I'm saying is he could be looked at 100 years from now like another Lamar Clark. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So let me help you out with this whole thing, because like those kinds of numbers is part of the issue, right? So let's talk about those kinds of numbers.
They're the same numbers.
All right, I got you. So let's talk about heavyweight history then, right? So 10 title defenses of a heavyweight title has only happened by like 3 dudes. And then if you go through the 3 dudes defending that title by knockout, has only happened 3 times. All of them tied. First time, Tommy Burns, 115 years ago. The only other guy to do it, Larry Holmes. Both of these guys are like legends of the ring. The only other guy to do it is Deontay Wilder, right? So like you're talking about 3 years, 3 people in like over 100 years of defending this title, right? It's
But
like
bro,
your guy is not
he
your
was
guy. Your
holding
guy
one
don't have
title.
accolades like that. Yeah,
But
yeah, your
bro,
guy
he
don't have
was
accolades
holding.
like that.
But
Like,
no, hold on,
like, like
wait.
Why is not going to end up like Lamar Brown, right? Or Lamar Clark, or whoever the hell you just mentioned.
It was Lamar Clark. But the thing about it is Deontay Wilder is holding one belt in a 4-belt era. Now, those stats that you just said would sound more impressive if maybe he was like Anthony Joshua and did it. He was holding 3 belts, or Usyk holding 3 belts in a 4-belt era, or Tyson Fury holding 3 belts and defending it that many times. Because this is the thing: when you're dealing with titles, we all know you got sanctioning bodies, and we all know it's different names, and it can be different names and different sanctioning bodies. Where this guy may never fight this guy, or never get an opportunity to fight this guy, or if he did, he probably would have beat him. So yeah, it sounds impressive if he's only fighting people inside of his only one ranked sanctioning body, when it's 3 other sanctioning bodies that also have a top 10 of 30 other fighters.
Can I hear you? Do you realize that the 4-belt sanctioning era has been 10 years? That's it. He's only champion for like half of that. But the entire time, like you guys act like the 4-belt era happened like
Smoke. Hold on, Smoke. Just relax. Hold on. Let me say this right here. Now, this is the deal right here, right? So I don't think we need to waste time talking about the 4 belts versus the 1 belt, because I'll be honest with you, 10 title defenses is impressive whether you got 3 belts or whether you got 1 belt, right? I mean, that's like the difference between saying somebody run a 4-2-9 and somebody run a 4-3-2. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, both feats are impressive, and let's just kind of just stick to what Deontay Wilder did, not what he could have done, right? So 10 title defenses with the WBC. Regardless, still impressive. 1 belt, doesn't matter. Let's move on from that. It doesn't matter if it's 3 sanctioning bodies, 2 sanctioning bodies.
That's what I'm saying, because Larry Holmes going to have a stupid run in there, and I'm not going to say Larry Holmes ain't a great. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Same belt.
Yeah.
The same belt. He had that 1 belt. Larry Holmes has never been unified. Never.
Yeah, exactly. But he was cold. So that's what I was saying earlier, Smoke, so you understand what I'm saying. I'm just judging them based off what they did. And matter of fact, there's me naming another guy.
I'm saying that there's a way that you can squeeze your eye.
I'm also dropping these names in here to make sure that you know that I'm going to keep naming these guys as we have this conversation. Larry Holmes is another one I just named. I'm telling you, man, like it's Deontay Wilder is not. It's not. He's not making the top. He's not doing that, bro.
But Larry Holmes is making the top 10 though. We already said that he's being excluded from the top 10. Like mentioning top 10 guys, we don't have to start making Wilder, right?
I'm just saying.
Smoke. You got to think about this too, right? Think about this too, though, Smoke. You know, you're talking about the 10 title defenses, right? So you got a lot of the same guys within that same defense, right? So you got Ortiz twice. You got Tyson Fury once, which came out in the draw. You have Stavern in there twice.
You got him twice. You got Tyson Fury in there twice.
Yeah, you got Tyson Fury in there twice, right? So, I mean, it's a lot of the same guys, right? Now, that's my only deal. You got 10 title defenses, but you got a lot of guys in there tight, and you got some guys in there that was last minute fillers that Deontay Wilder couldn't control, right? Because people was failing drug tests and whatnot. That's not under his control. You fight who is in front of you, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's more of my gripe, a personal gripe towards the 10 title defenses, because it's a lot of the same names, and a lot of the fights within those 10 title defenses is guys that I don't really consider to be very good guys. That's my only thing. Now, nevertheless, I still think. Hold on. Let me finish. Nevertheless, I still think to have 10 title defenses is an impressive feat. You understand what I'm saying? I do think it's impressive, but my opinions about outside of it being impressive is the level of competition that you completed the feat. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're having a conversation where it's going to be a lot of opinions thrown out there. I mean, but you can't argue with 10 title defenses. But you can debate whether these guys are credible wins or not. right? And I think the biggest knock on Wilder and is going to be on Wilder is that his resume isn't very strong and he hasn't fought the guys that are the top guys in his era. Is no way getting around that statement.
I mean, right. So it depends on
The one guy,
what,
the
what
one
you're
guy
talking
you
about.
fought.
Because in 2015,
Hold up, man. Hold on. You don't want to be known for the guy who, in your era of boxing, you fought one of the top dogs in your era, and you fought only one of them, and you got beat by him twice. You don't want that to be your legacy within your era. You got to fight all those other guys. I'm just saying.
Hey, do y'all consider
you
draws
gotta
as a
understand.
title defense?
Like, listen, bro. Like, I'm just gonna say just straight up. Like, there's two guys in the Hall of Fame right now in the Klitschko brothers who, like, I don't know if you've looked at Vasiliy Klitschko's resume, but it's a who's who. Who gives a fuck? And the only guy he fought was Boyd Lennox Lewis, and he lost that fight.
Yeah, that's not. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about Wilder.
But we are talking about his era and why he would be ahead of guys.
Yeah,
we're talking about Vasiliy. We're talking about Vasiliy Klitschko era.
Yeah, he's not past Vasiliy.
We're talking about Vasiliy Klitschko's era. I don't think so.
Vasiliy Klitschko faced Chris Bird as probably his best opponent. He lost that fight. And then he faced Lennox Lewis.
I really, honestly, I wouldn't consider Wilder and Vasiliy in the same era, though. To be honest with you,
they were literally. So it was Vasiliy.
Very
Let me just explain why I'm saying it. Vasiliy retired. Bermane Stiverne and Chris Arreola fought for his vacant title, and then Wilder fought him very next. I think Wilder's ranked number 5 when Vasiliy was champion. He's ranked in the top 5.
Yeah, but you're talking about a guy who's a contender versus a guy who's at the top of the mountain. Like that's two very different things.
And I mean, I got you. I'm just saying at the end, when it's all said and done, we're talking about legacy, right? So let's say we went in this whole thing about if he never fought again, what would it look like? So Vasiliy Klitschko has never fought again. Vasiliy Klitschko, and for me, Wilder he's definitely done it. For whatever knocks you put on him, I feel like I could say the same thing about Vasiliy Klitschko, who his biggest names, Chris Bird and Lennox Lewis, he lost to both of those dudes.
That's not what we're talking about, though. We're not comparing Deontay Wilder to Vasiliy Klitschko. At least I'm not. I'm comparing. Right. What I want to do is I want to lay out.
I'm comparing him to every other heavyweight.
Hold up. I got you. But what I'm doing is before I compare Deontay Wilder to anybody, I need to lay out all the accomplishments that Deontay Wilder has, and I need to lay out all the things that I think Deontay Wilder needs. I think he needs more shit than what he has. That's my point. So once I start doing that, now I can say, okay, match him up against Vasiliy Klitschko. I think his era was piss poor as well. So, and I mean, his reign was piss poor as well. So what I'm saying is this right here. You bringing Vasiliy Klitschko into this conversation is going to accomplish nothing, because the problem is, and the problem will remain, that it is several active heavyweights right now, literally, when Deontay Wilder is considered to be a top 5 heavyweight that's sitting there waiting to fight this guy. And within 5 or 6 year span, 7 year span, he's literally only fought against, I don't know, I mean, a lot of the same motherfuckers. Tyson Fury 3 times, Luis Ortiz 2 times. You know, and
I hear you, bro. I'm just saying, if we're gonna compare him to all the other heavyweights,
Severn 2 times. So I mean, think about it. That's
the Klitschko brothers did not fight.
That's 7. Hold on, smoke. That's 7 fights, and honestly, it's 7 fights that really. I mean, and he lost two of the fights. And Drew won one of them.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying to you that you also have to compare that to every other heavyweight, like in these decades, right? And what I'm telling you is, you can go to Hall of Famers that have the same knock that you're talking about. When I say the Klitschko brothers, the same thing you can say. The Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer was active while they were active and didn't fight them. There is no Lennox Lewis on those guys. I mean, there's no Lennox Lewis on Vlad's resume. There is on Vasiliy's resume, and he lost. There is no Evander Holyfield on either one of those dudes' resumes. There is no Mike
anybody,
Tyson on either one of those dudes' resumes. There's no James Toney on either one of those dudes' resumes. Right? There's a ton of people that are not on these dudes' resumes.
Smoke. Nobody's pubbing Vasiliy Klitschko. I haven't heard.
I'm trying to tell you why. Okay, if we're gonna assess Deontay Wilder by his contemporaries from the '90s. I'm trying to do it. I mean, I'm going about Hall of Famers. I'm not bringing up like the Clifford ATNs of the world, or the Jameel McClines, or the Samuel Peters, or even the Galatas, right? I'm talking about like Hall of Famers. I'm putting it up to it. The criticisms that you guys are having about Deontay Wilder, you can say that about literal Hall of Famers.
Man, yeah, but this is my point though. Right here. Let's see what you're doing is, and what you can do is, and this is fine because you're trying to make your point. I get what you're doing, but at the end of the day, Vasiliy Klitschko could very well fall in that same realm as Deontay Wilder, as far as everybody on this panel is concerned. Who's to say that anybody on this panel has Vasiliy Klitschko in front of Deontay Wilder? That's my point. Nobody has went down that rabbit hole.
If we all say 25 is reasonable and nobody has him lower than 25, then cool, we can move on. Because we just argue. I mean, nobody went down that rabbit hole of Vasiliy Klitschko. Is what I'm saying. And I'm just trying to say that he could be like I'm just justifying my position that he could be in the 25, and that 25, him being in that 25, you could make an argument for how that you can stress that thing out, right? I don't know if you can, but like as you bring up some very good points. It's a lot of the same guys. He beat him the first time. It wasn't, like the Luis Ortiz win was a little bit controversial because I think like the 7th round or something like that. I don't remember it like really, but like I don't know, maybe the 6th round or 7th round, the doctor,
it was a long
or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, right? So, but the Bermain Stavern was drugs, like you were saying, like it doesn't really. But the record is what it is. So, I mean, I hear you. I hear what you're saying about the 10 title defenses. I don't know what that means for top 25, top 100 for you. But I think it's easier to say, hey, look, these 10 guys or these 15 guys are better than Deontay Wilder, right? Mm-hmm. And then once you get past that, then we can start getting down to, okay, this is why I think once we get to 15, things get a little bit complicated once we get to number 15. This is why I think Deontay Wilder deserves to be in the top 25. I don't think we should jump straight to Vasiliy Klitschko. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Get to where Smoke he won't let nobody lay out there.
Man, you know how I roll, man. Pardon. So go ahead.
Man, I love Smoke, man. That's my boy, dog.
I'm trying to get everybody. You made us kill like an hour. I'm trying to get everybody's criteria. You want to debate the folks on their criteria before they even say who the fighter is. So nobody said Vasiliy. So.
And then you out here giving inaccurate information on top of that, man. Because he didn't have no goddamn 10 title defenses in a row, nigga. He had more like a 7 than a draw.
I said he had 7. I said he had 7 consecutive by knockout, which tied the record set by Tommy Burns. I'm not giving you inaccurate information.
That's still ain't 10, bro. How you mix up 7 and 10?
Consecutive by knockout. He did.
But you said 10 title defenses, bro.
Yes, 10 title defenses.
Man, how he had 10 title defenses?
Say again?
What 10 title defenses did he have?
Okay, he started with Bermain Stavern and he ended.
No. He started with Eric Molina.
No, we started with Bermain Stavern.
He won the title from Bermain Stavern.
All right. And then
that don't count as a defense.
Right. No, right. The second one was a defense. I think that was his 3rd title defense or 2nd title defense. We won the 2nd time.
Hold on, man. Wait a minute, man. Anyway, you all over the place, man. Cool down, man. Relax. Listen.
Relax.
Hey, look, man. That's one of Javante Davis hooks, man. Calm down.
Hold on, 1 second. Let him cook.
Like I said, bro, Bermain Stavern is not considered a title defense. Okay, you have to be a champion to have a title defense. So that's not one.
You fought him twice,
he had his first one. Was Eric Molina, G. It was Eric Molina.
He fought Bermain Stavern twice. He fought him for a title defense. Do you not understand? You interrupted me to tell me something that I already know. I got you. Bro, I'm trying to get through this thing. We can just count them up, right? We can just go to Bacharach and count all the defenses.
Because I actually think Smoke is right. So I
Look,
just need
bro,
him to
look.
count it up, though. I think Smoke
I'm
is
about to
right,
count
though.
up right now. I got you right now. Look, Eric
Yeah.
Molina, that's one. That's the defense, right?
Mhm.
Duhopis, that's two. Spilka, that's three. Areola, that's four. Washington, that's five. Stervern, that's six. Ortiz, that's seven. Fury, that was a draw. So
That's
That's
8.
still counted as a defense, though.
that's
Okay.
and I asked y'all that earlier. Nobody said shit. I
Nah,
said, do y'all
that
count
count- that
draws as
count-
a
Yeah.
defense?
It's a
Yeah,
defense.
that's a
champion after
defense because
Yeah.
because the title never transferred. So that's
Yeah.
that's
I
a
look at it
defense.
more like a no contest,
No,
but
it's,
okay.
it's a
That's a
defense.
defense.
All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, if you count that, I guess that would be 10.
That's
I
10.
didn't count
Yeah, that's
that.
10. Yeah, that's 10.
Why the fuck did nobody say nothing earlier? I said,
I
y'all
don't
count
understand.
the
Like, bro,
draw?
I'm not on here giving you inaccurate information. I don't know why you interrupted me to do that when you could have just counted.
No, bro, because you kept saying like he had
Like,
10
come on,
titles.
bro. Like,
Because I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I heard, I thought you said earlier he had 10 title defenses in a row. Like y'all kept saying that. Like you got 10 title defenses, 10 title
that, like,
defenses.
right then. I said 7 consecutive by knockout, 10 title defenses total.
It don't matter anyway because he ain't. I mean, yeah, like
And
he-
even with that,
I'm
nigga,
just saying, you wanna go through
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
like-
look. Let's say it's not 10. Let's say it's 9. Yeah, that's still good as fuck though. Like, I mean, what do we? Let's say it's 7. Let's say it's 8. Like, I mean, that's still fucking great
I
though.
don't know if it's. I don't think that's impressive. I mean, it is because it's documented, but I don't know, man. I can't say that shit really. That
I don't know, man. I think it's more impressive when you see a guy like, cause okay, he had 10 title defenses over the course of how many years?
Yeah, and then he missed 8
From 15 to 20. So 2
Yeah,
fights a
So,
year.
over the course of 5 years, but then you got guys that's been champions, undefeated nigga for like 10 years and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Yeah,
they
they don't have
move
that
different weight classes.
Man, that don't really matter. But I'm just say this: Wilder still, no matter how you slice it, you're not finna sit here and say he's better than certain boxers. And it's taking us a long time to get to these names. Because to be honest with you, I'm curious to see where the fuck you fall Wilder at, because I'm trying to see who you say he better than. That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, like Muhammad Ali, are you saying that? Because we know that's one right there.
So if you ask me, you could ask me any other heavyweight Muhammad Ali, and I'm not going to put him over him. Like, I try to separate errors just to make it cool, but my guy is Muhammad Ali. Like, no one's going over the greatest of all times. Like, not the time,
So
the time.
is he over George? Is he another knockout artist?
Every other time.
Is he over George Foreman, another knockout artist who's knocking motherfuckers out, known for power? Is he over Big George?
I mean,
Man,
if
come
you're
on,
gonna
man.
just
You
go by
gotta
top 10
go with
power
Big
punchers, I
George.
think he makes the top 10
Yeah.
for power punchers in the heavyweight division history. Yeah, sure.
Man,
Why
I'm
not?
saying, so you got him over. You got Deontay Wilder over Big George.
He probably
Not
do
over
because
Big George, but I got him
you had
like
him over
somewhere
Michael
around
Moore.
30 tables.
You had him over Michael Moore. You got Big George over Michael Moore. Mike Moore over Big George.
I don't have Michael Moore as a knockout artist at all. He's not on my top 10 list.
No. Who you got ranked above? You got Michael Moore above George or George above Michael Moore?
I don't have Michael Moore in there at all. I'm just saying George Foreman's in there. Like, and Michael Moore's not.
What you feel escapes. Look, so anyway, Big George. You got him over Big
Yeah,
George.
like Michael Moore. I don't know why we're talking about Michael Moore. He's a converted super middleweight. Like, what are we talking about?
We're gonna get to him because I like him actually. So we're gonna get back to him in a minute. But what I'm saying is he over Big George?
Yeah.
Wilder is over.
I mean, no,
George.
Michael Moore's not over Big George. No.
No. I'm asking you about Wilder. You keep trying to.
No, it's Wilder over Big George. No, Wilder's not over Big George.
Is he over Frazier?
Ooh, I like that smoking left hook. As a knockout artist, probably. No, probably.
Man, you got this man over.
Yeah, like one punch knockout power. Yeah.
You got him over Joe Frazier.
For power, not technique or anything, but power.
Why we keep? Okay, so I see what's going to happen.
Like, listen, like George Foreman, like Joe Frazier. The reason why George Frazier is the guy. The reason why George Frazier is who he is because of his technique, right? It was like his boxing acumen. That dude can box. Like Wilder, he's there because of power.
I got you. I see what you're gonna do here. I'm just at Frazier, so I ain't finna go through this with you. So I already, because we still gotta get to Mike Tyson, and I don't even want to hear nothing crazy come out your mouth. I'm pretty sure.
No, I think Mike Tyson has more power. You think Joe Frazier is more power than Mike Tyson?
You said what?
You think George Frazier is more power than Mike Tyson?
You got Wilder, the bronze bomber over gold medalist George Foreman.
No, I'm talking. We're just talking about power. But I want to get to another question. I want to get into what you just said. Did you say that you have Joe Frazier over Mike Tyson for power?
Man, you tripping, man. This dude.
I'm asking you.
We talking about.
I'm asking you if you have, bro. Can you just answer the question? Do you have Joe Frazier over Mike Tyson for power?
No.
Okay, cool. Neither do I.
Okay, no, I like Mike Tyson power, snappy and fast.
What's the point of that question, man? Who the fuck has Joe Frazier's power over Tyson power?
He asked me about Joe Frazier and Deontay Wilder, and then he said, "I don't even want to go to Mike Tyson." Like, okay, I mean, I got Wilder over Joe Frazier for power, but I got Mike Tyson for Joe Frazier over power too. And I got Mike Tyson for power over Wilder.
I don't think we're on the same page here, Smoke. I think it's some missing pieces. So I ain't got nothing else for you. I'm just saying I don't think he's over Joe Frazier. I don't think he's over Holyfield, Tyson, Riddick Bowe. I don't think
Holyfield? Okay.
You got Wilder. You got. I'm talking about as a boxer. Period.
No, of course I don't have him over.
Yeah, that's what we talking about.
Nah, Smoke.
Of course I don't have him over Joe Frazier as a boxer. Like, come on, man.
Y'all got him over Nikolai Value.
Hold on, so he want to rate his power. You want to rate?
Yeah, I was just talking about, like, I was just saying for power punch, right? I thought that's what we were at. I thought we were talking about like Ernie Frazier.
You want to do power?
I mean, Ernie Shavers. I thought we were talking about.
Wilder don't have more power. Wilder don't have more power than Tyson.
No, he doesn't.
Huh?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, I don't think he got more power than Ron Lyle either.
Ron Lyle. I mean, he could. Ron Lyle will drop you, but you get back up from Ron Lyle.
Man, I don't know, man. Ron Lyle and Cooney. Cooney and Ron Lyle, both them boys.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Hey, don't forget about Ernie Shavers, boy.
Shavers something too.
Yeah, I'm saying
he wasn't even a champion.
It's a lot of motherfuckers.
That's what I'm saying. That's the conversation I thought we were having. That's exactly. That's that we're having that conversation. The Ernie Shavers conversation.
All right, so hold up. Let's do this right here, and I'm gonna shake this shit up more than what it's shaking up already.
I can't rock Marciano hit harder than that nigga.
Hold up, I'm gonna shake this shit up right here real quick. Hold up, hey, check this out. Deontay Wilder knocked out bums. First time you fight against an elite fighter, he gets up from them twice. What's your opinions on that? I'm not saying that's my opinion, but I'm just saying that opinion does exist. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I don't know what bums mean. Like that sounds like some YTBC troll shit for real. Like,
no, I'm just asking. I'm just saying that.
I'm just saying. I'm just asking. I'm just saying. That's what it sounds like to me.
I got Rocky Marciano having more power than Wilder.
Rocky Marciano was a hell of a knockout artist. The only problem is he was fighting guys that've been waiting for a shot for 20 years.
Man, but he was
coming up from smaller weight classes, right?
Man, he was
they were all they're ATGs. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Harry Wills. I love me some some Archie Moore, the Cobra. Like, come on, but at the same time, he's a light heavyweight champion. Like, great. Not really.
That's what I'm saying. That shit. Listen,
I got Jack Johnson over Wilder too.
Hold on, that man way smaller than Wilder, man, and that man was breaking people's shit, man. Elbows, noses, faces.
Oh my God, dude! Like, you want to talk about Barbados Joe Walcott? Then the dude never weighed more than 145 pounds, knocking out heavyweights, breaking ribs.
I like, cause I'm gonna say I think Langford punched probably the hardest puncher, pound for pound of all time. That motherfucker was knocking people out too, but Wilder got power, man, but it ain't like Tyson's. it ain't like Riddick Bowe's, to be honest with you. Niggas be sleeping on Riddick Bowe power.
Riddick Bowe's power wasn't like that. Riddick Bowe, you'd hit like Riddick Bowe was the biggest dude that hit you with a gazillion punches.
Nah, man, them boys used to be thumping. You better get
yeah. I mean, if you against Michael Dokes, yeah, sure. But like you saw what he did against Coatsy. You saw that fucking fight, that big ass South African.
Hold on, back then you gotta also think about this, man. Them boys back then had chins. You don't even get nearly as many combos at the heavyweight level like you used to. These guys get knocked out with just a little jab and all that. They ain't got no chin, so it's giving an illusion of power.
I don't know about that, bro. You're giving a whole lot. Like, wait a minute, hold on. You think the evolution of the chin changed something? Like, come on, bro. Like, there's not weaker chins in the 21st century.
Soon as Wilder stepped up to a puncher, Ortiz, he started doing the stanky leg. Okay, he overcame power versus power. He outlasted. Okay, then as soon as he stepped up and he fought Tyson Fury, he got stopped twice. So if you hit Wilder, he gonna go. It's like a race to who gonna hit who first, basically. These guys.
We do realize that Tyson Fury got the dude by 50 pounds. He dropped him 4 times at the three fights, right?
AJ has been wobbled quite a bit here in recent time. What I'm telling you, man, is that these guys can punch. I'm not saying that. Don't get it twisted. They can punch. Okay, but I think the chin is a part of the punch and power equation. Like, I hate when people be talking about power. I immediately have to look at chin because that is a boxing attribute. Like, we can't keep saying people got power. We actually have to look at a chin of the person as well too now.
That we do. We also, but in that thing, you start to get into a bunch of nuance, right? Because now you're talking about getting hit clean. And whether or not the person can even get hit clean, right? So if you have defense, maybe you don't get hit clean.
Defense, I package. Look, the inability to get hit, I package that together. You understand what I'm saying? Like I package that together because even if it's a situation where Floyd has a great chin, but even if it's a situation like Floyd where he just so awesome and smooth on the inside, you really can't hit him. That I count that too because power, like Rocky Marciano powers, will break down your guard. So you got to see power against a real defense, man. I'm just being real with you. You got to see. Speed is pretty easy to pick out. The guy who's faster, that's not a thing, right? We know who's faster. But when it comes to that power, man, you got to see who got a chin. And if in defense, I mean, I'm just being real with you.
Well, but then it's gonna get real hard because now it's about how good the opposition's defense. It's not just punch resistance; it's how good their defense is too. And some guys, that may be their game. Some guys, it's not their game. And if you're if you're knocking out a guy knocking out a Luis Ortiz who's never been knocked out, a big old Cuban dude, who has good defense, and hit him in the forehead, and the way he knocked him out, like with a forehead punch.
No, I like that. That's a good one.
Like one shot. That's it. Hey. I mean, I can still the sound of Dominic Breazeale's chin. Like Dominic Breazeale got a chin, right? That one shot that sent that dude sprawling. I can hear the shot still, right?
Stiverne and Ariola
I don't know if Breazeale got a good defense, but he doesn't have a good chin.
Stiverne and Ariola don't have chins.
Oh, the hell they did. Okay. So Brandon wasn't knocked out before Deontay Wilder did that. He folded that dude up. He was a meme. 2017, the meme of the year. That dude was doing everything. The limbo, like they have everywhere.
Man, Ariola been stopped so many times, man.
I'm saying not Ariola. Ariola hadn't been stopped at that point that many times. But anyway, Ariola was a different thing. I was talking about Bermain Stiverne.
Man, listen. If you try to justify his power by telling about these guys got all these, I don't think they got good chins, man. I'm sorry.
You don't think Dominic Breazeale got a good chin?
I don't think he got no chin. I don't think he ain't fought nobody.
No chin? I mean, he don't have a good defense, but I mean, what he's lacking defense, he make up for in punch resistance, right?
Hold on. So I'm gonna tell you guys who have look. Evander Holyfield has a good chin.
Oh yeah, he got a great chin. That's all-time great chin.
All right. Look,
That's a
Shannon
beard.
Briggs, although he's been stopped, still has a hell of a chin.
He got a chin. Yeah,
That's a beard.
You see what I'm saying? Has a hell of a chin.
That's a beard.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Floyd
Yeah, but you
Mayweather
talking about all-time great chins right now. I mean, I don't know
Floyd
about Shannon
Mayweather
Briggs. Not Shannon Briggs, but
Not Shannon Briggs.
I mean,
who
got a chin? Is the Canelo's got a chin.
Canelo has a hell of a chin.
That means sleep on that chin, boy.
Canelo has a hell of a chin.
Yeah, Canelo got a chin, boy.
George Foreman has a chin. Muhammad Ali had a chin. Like, these motherfuckers had chins.
Okay, that's all-time great chin again. Listen, whenever you mention Muhammad Ali and something good, like, come on, like you starting to talk about. Anyway, let's keep going.
No, I mean that's why I named the.
Yeah, Wilder got a chin like any of those dudes.
Ali.
Hell no, Wilder got a chin like any of those dudes. But I don't even think Fury got a chin like none of those dudes either. I don't think none of the current heavyweights do. Maybe like who got a chin? Like it was Andy Ruiz before Areola put him down, right?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I gotta say it, man. I mean, this is where your argument to me, or my gripe that I have with you right here, Smoke. You got to say this right here, based on your opinions about Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury has a chin.
Yeah, I mean, not if you're talking about Canelo.
It's not.
Yeah, because
hold up, Smoke. It's not no. Hold up, Smoke. Let me cook real quick. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, considering where you rate Deontay Wilder's power, considering that Deontay Wilder hit Tyson Fury clean and he got up, I would think that would qualify him for a guy that at least is in consideration for having a chin. Do you not believe that?
It depends on who you put on that list. If you say to me, listen, let me finish. If you say to me, Evander Holyfield, Muhammad Ali, Canelo, and then you say Tyson Fury, I mean, like, what are you talking about? In this chin conversation, that is not the chin. Like, one of those chins don't belong in that conversation.
But I mean,
one guy got to get his chin the hell out.
Hold up. So let me rephrase it. Without making a list, considering, would you say Tyson Fury has a chin?
Yeah, I think he's got a pretty good chin, right? He got up for. I mean, Cunningham put him down, and Cunningham is not the biggest puncher, but he got up.
And Deontay Wilder put him down twice.
Deontay Wilder put him down 4 times.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm counting the first knockout, not when he
I'm
was
just saying, like they both put each other down 4 times, right? Or 5 times. I think maybe Tyson Fury 5 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but only one of those guys got up. One of those guys got up every time, though.
Oh no!
You realize every time Tyson Fury got knocked down, he got up
until the third fight. He got up on the second. Like he was ended on his feet. That ended on his feet with a towel, right?
Every time Tyson Fury got knocked down, he has gotten up. That's a chin.
It is. I hear you. I get what you're saying. All I'm saying is,
man, that boy Fury knocked that boy down with a body blow.
He's an okay chin. It's an okay chin for here. Like Fury, what is it? AJ has been down like 4 times. He got up. I don't know. Do you say he got a chin?
Yeah, I'm saying that boy Wilder got hit in that body though, man, and really
there's a lot of going on with that. I mean, that was the one time he didn't get up. There was a lot going on with that. Yeah, and part of it was that. Yeah, part of that was that body work.
Yeah,
Tyson Fury was something. Tyson Fury was something to the body, and Tyson Fury said, "Okay, you want to play that?" Because Tyson Fury was hurt. He didn't like that shot at all. It's like, fuck that. He got Wilder right back. Oh yeah, like listen, bro. I love the sweet science. Like I don't know what you guys are on, or some like Wilder fan shit that you guys are trying to paint me in. All I'm trying to do is tell you that
nobody's trying to do that.
I just think you got some power. That's it.
Smoke high, man.
Hey, look, man. Let me tell you, man. Look. This is the deal right here.
I've been accused of padding the dude's record. I've been accused of. Come on, bro.
I actually agreed with you about the 10 title defenses, and I was like,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm saying you wasn't spewing inaccurate information. I was with you. I say, no, I think Smoke is right. It's 10. Yeah. Anyway, what I'm saying is this right here. Tyson Fury has a chin.
Yeah, based on your standard, you try to talk all around that, but
and Triple G also has a chin.
Mm-hmm.
Triple G got chin. Like, see that now you're talking. See guys that aren't getting knocked down. I mean, getting back up, that's cool, but that's more about heart than chin to me.
Yeah,
But whatever, it's all good.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, I mean, heart, chin, all that. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder, the second fight against Tyson Fury, had a lot of heart, but he didn't have enough chin.
I don't think he had enough body. I don't think he had enough wind. Is what he didn't have. It wasn't enough chin. He didn't have enough wind.
He had more heart than he had chin. I mean, that's a lopsided combination. You know, these things got to be equal.
Okay, so if you get stopped to the body, is that a chin thing?
Yeah, that's all you do. That's demonstrating somebody's power, man. It's still the power dynamic.
No, I'm just trying to figure out if we're just talking about like whether or not you can take it to the face, or what you're just talking about is punch resistance. So we call it punch resistance.
I mean, anytime you touch the canvas, whether it's to the chin, to the body, I mean that all accounts for stoppage.
I'm not arguing. I'm just trying to figure out what we're talking about.
I mean that's stoppage though. Still,
Keith Thurman has, he ain't never been stopped, but Keith Thurman was considered to have a good chin and the ability to recover, but he had a soft body. Oof. So, it can be different. Some people, Amir Khan don't have a bad body, but he got a bad chin.
Well, he made a mistake. He pulled straight back, but if you get dropped, you get dropped. But Pacquiao got power, right?
I think he got some power. Yeah, he got his power. Yeah, he has power. Yeah,
I mean, Ricky Hatton to tell you got some power.
He got power. He got power. Because he be hitting motherfuckers harder now. Motherfuckers just be gun shy when they get in there with Pacquiao sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got some. Mayweather decided not to even.
I don't know. I got what I don't know what you guys got, but I got Wilder top 10. I think he makes top 10 power punchers in the heavyweight division. Definitely of his generation. Probably like in the last 50 years, something like that.
I think Wilder might make the top 10. I mean, I really got to consider all things, but I think as far as the power is concerned, I don't see an issue with him making the top 10. I definitely think he's in the top 10, probably now that I think about it. He's not in front of Tyson. Obviously, he's not in front of – I don't think he's in front of Frazier. He's not in front of George. Man, it's a lot of people that he's not in front of. But I do think he makes the top 10, though.
What about Tony Morrison with that hook? David Tua?
I like Tua. Tua was thumping.
Lewis?
Tua was stomping. I think he has more power than Tommy Morrison, though, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he has more power than Tommy Morrison.
Lennox Lewis?
I think he has more power than Lennox.
Okay, got more power than Lennox?
Yeah.
Vitelli?
No, I don't think he has more power than Vitelli. That's just my opinion. I think Vitelli. I think that's as far as power is concerned. I think he's probably one of the most slept on guys.
He could have shut his damn career up, man. He could have kept going a little bit more.
Yeah, I think because he definitely had the power.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you who else. I'm gonna tell you another person. I don't know if Wilder had more power than. I don't know if he had more power than Francois Botha, to be honest with you.
Man,
you tripping, man. Y'all going crazy.
That boy was cracking, bro.
Yeah,
he was cracking. And I can tell you this right here. And you go, and I'm gonna tell you something. Go and because these fighters will tell you. You go and you go look at interviews, and you ask these guys. Who's one of the hardest punches that they've ever been hit by? They all say Francois. Holyfield.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Holyfield says Francois. Shannon Briggs, Francois. This guy is really Mike Tyson, Francois. These guys, I mean, he man, that boy, don't get it twisted. He was full of that extra stuff, but
but you're also naming a whole bunch of people who didn't fight power punchers.
Oh my God. Okay, well we're gonna do that then. I mean, so Holyfield didn't fight against the power punches, man. He fought against Big George, man. What are you talking about?
Hey, Tyson, man, be quiet.
He fought against Big George and he fought against Big Daddy. Come on now, what's what you talking about?
Man, smoke high, man. He just talking. But yeah, you say that's a good one too, man.
I think Francois thumping, you know. But I mean, look, bro, I do think Wilder does make the top 10 without a doubt. That's my whole point. I think he makes the top 10 for sure. I think, honestly, I think you can make an argument that he is easily in the top 10.
What about Joe Louis with that stiff ass right hand, man? He used to crush things with this shit.
So I mean,
it's film on him, man. He had a nasty right hand.
What about Sonny Liston?
Yeah, Sonny Liston. Now you're talking.
Sonny Liston. Yeah, Sonny Liston. See, you know, I was trying to keep it to like the 80s. I'm trying to keep it like the 80s on up, but I mean, we going with like
all time.
Yeah, we're going all time.
Man, I'm going all time. I ain't getting robbed no.
Yeah, I mean, so you got to throw Frazier in there. I mean, you got to throw Frazier. You got to throw Liston in there. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you, man. Just alone, that boy Joe Louis' jab was really like a power punch, really. Like, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got some. I mean, throughout history, man, you really got some guys that was really hitting hard. Like, I heard somebody say Ron Lyle earlier. Cooney was hitting hard like that. Man, it's a lot of guys that have come through with power.
Razor Reddick, man, with the smash punch. Razor Reddick.
Yeah, I think Wilder has more power than Razor Reddick, though.
Okay, all right. Slide out there, man. But he might be in top 10. He might make
I think he makes the top 10 for sure. Man, power, man. Wilder got some power, bro. You know what I mean? You know, guys who say they've sparred him, guys obviously who've been in the ring with him. I mean, let's be honest about it, man. Deontay Wilder has some of the. Oh man, now that I think about it, what's your boy? Now I can't think his name, but he got some killer power.
Arthur Spilka. I told you that Dominic Brazil.
He got some of the most legendary knockouts of all time. But now that I'm thinking about legendary knockouts, what's your boy knocked out Tommy Morrison? I can't think his name. When that boy arm got caught in the ropes.
You talking about the Army dude?
He was a good fighter too.
Not Jamil McCline. I know the guy.
No, he's talking about the dude that beat Larry Holmes. I mean, the dude that Larry Holmes beat later in his career. Because Larry Holmes did beat him later in his career. I forgot his name. What's his fucking name, man?
Man, that's one of the best knockouts of all time. That boy Tommy Morrison, I thought he was dead.
Yeah, man. But it wasn't really a one punch.
We got to consider.
He hurt him first. He hurt him first, and then he was defenseless. Then he hit him again when he was on the ropes. So it wasn't like really one shot that did all that.
Dennis Lewis beat Tommy Morris. And
man, what's that dude's name, man? God damn, that shit man, hold on.
Hey, shit. You know the knockout's bad when you remember the knockout, but not the dude who delivered it.
Why can't y'all consider Ali a great puncher, considering the level of competition that he knocked out? Cleveland Williams, Sonny Liston, George
Ray Mercer. Mercer.
Ray Mercer. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Ali may be one of the greatest power punchers of all times, considered that he knocked out some top guys, like stopped them. Like he stopped some top guys, Sonny Liston.
But Ali was just so.
I'm just saying, like, I like to go by the level of competition that you actually stop too.
That's not bad.
That man stopped Floyd Patterson. That man stopped a lot of people, man.
Card, please scan it now.
He retired. He made your boy George Frazier retire on his stool.
If you don't have your Kroger Plus card, you can put my number in there. You feel me?
And look, he stopped Ron Lyle too.
Oh man, look, Ron Lyle was thumping too, boy. Y'all better stop sleeping on that boy.
I'm talking about Ali stopped him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he really was really hurting boys though.
everybody look at Ali as just a finesse fighter. Ali was a power puncher too.
Man, but you know what? So let me ask y'all another question. What about Shavers? Ernie Shavers.
Ernie Shavers, yeah.
Y'all think Wilder got more power than Shavers or what?
It's hard to say who got more power, though. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to say who got more power. People won't say Ernie Shavers because Ernie Shavers never won a title, but they're gonna put Deontay Wilder over him. But Ernie Shavers was his record shows that he was a good power puncher.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's another thing. I think, but Shannon Briggs' record showed that he was a good power puncher too, but I think he was more accumulation puncher, I don't know. But I do think Wilder probably makes the top 10 easily.
Yeah, Wilder probably makes the top 10.
Yeah.
Now, as far as what he placed in the heavyweight of all times, that's no.
We're
not even in the top 20.
We're not even going. Yeah, we're not going. Yeah,
I mean, I think he's gonna go to the Hall of Fame. He got 10 title defenses, but he's not in those top 10 or 20 best heavyweights of all times. You know what I'm saying? You can't be in the top 10 or 20 if you can't even be considered one of the best of your era. I mean, he's one of the best of the era. I'm not gonna say he's not. I put Tyson Fury over him. I put Joshua over him. So far,
I think Wilder falls somewhere for me probably easily without just me going through the names, just running them through my head right now. I think Wilder probably falls anywhere after 15.
You do so. What's funny is I'm very interested to see how this all shakes out because Wilder's closer to retirement. He's talking about it, so this conversation is a little bit more apt. But if AJ retired right now, I don't think AJ makes the Hall.
Why? Man, you're crazy. The man had 3 titles. What are you talking about?
You know who has 3? You know how many people have 3 titles that didn't make the Hall?
I don't care.
Andy Ruiz had those same 3 titles. He might not make the Hall. Like Tyson Fury, if he stopped fighting right now, he might not make the Hall.
Who had the same 3 titles? Name that person again.
Say again.
Say again the 2 people that you named. I know Tyson Fury did.
I said Andy Ruiz had those same 3 titles.
And Ruiz didn't do nothing with them though, man.
I understand. I got you, but it's by title defenses.
Joshua got
when you go by title defenses, right? Like it's by each title defense. So he really only has 6 title defense. The most he has of any belt is the IBF, and it's 6.
Okay, hold up, man. Let's say this right here. Hold up. I'm gonna ask one question.
Hold on. Anthony Joshua got a better resume than Wilder.
Hold up, B-Talk. Let me ask this one question. So we all know that. Would everybody agree that Alexander Usyk is going to go to the Hall?
Yes.
I think he'll get there. Yeah. Yep. Yes. I think he'll get there.
Yes.
If he retired today, he's going to the Hall. Even with less than 20 fights, he's going to the Hall. So
I'm not sure. Listen, I think he gets there, but I'm not. He's another guy that depends. Maybe 3rd ballot, something like that. 4th ballot. I don't know. Maybe.
He went undisputed, and then he knocked off.
Jermaine Taylor's not in the Hall of Fame, right? Kelly Pavlik's not in the Hall of Fame, right?
He's undisputed, and he's literally 1 belt away from being 2-time division undisputed champion.
Maybe once he gets there, I'm sure. Listen, he's a gold medalist in the Olympics. He's an undisputed at cruiserweight, but those people in the cruiserweight, I don't think gonna get him into the Hall of Fame. I think there's guys that been anyway. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just saying that if he becomes undisputed heavyweight, I think he's probably 1st ballot, right? But right now, I think he's something maybe like 2nd or 3rd ballot.
But he gets to the Hall.
So maybe. I'm just saying maybe.
Anthony Joshua got 7 title defenses.
No, well, yes. Well, no, he doesn't. You got to understand.
Hold on. Hold on. He won it versus Charles Martin, right?
Yes.
Okay, now Dominic Brazil. That's a title defense.
Yep.
Eric Molina.
Yep.
Klitschko.
Yep.
He beat Klitschko for the vacant WBA, right?
It doesn't matter, but you still run the IBF.
So Carlos Takam. Carlos Takam.
Yep.
Joseph Parker.
Yep.
Picked up another title.
Alexander but we're still on the IBF. These are still only title. These still only defenses.
Alexander Povetkin, but he picked up a title versus Joseph Parker, and he picked up a vacant title versus Klitschko.
Right. I'm just saying
Okay,
that the
okay.
the most title defense he has is at the IBF,
Okay,
and that's 6.
hold on. And then he lost to Andy Louise. Then he won it back, and then he beat Pulev, and then
So that's one
that's
title
seven.
defense
That's,
again.
that, hold on. No. We count all his title defenses.
Okay, right, but
That's
that's not how
7.
they count it because it's 2 separate reigns.
What?
It's
What are
when
you
you have
talking
2
about? It
separate
doesn't
reigns.
matter
Okay.
about how. Look, it doesn't matter about the reigns. I'm talking about how many
It
times
does.
that man
Okay,
defended a
you
title.
do realize it does matter.
He
It does
defended
matter.
a
That's why
title.
That's why they tell you about second and third time reigns because if
Okay,
you
that's
start the clock
fine.
over
But I'm talking
again.
about the accumulation, though. I'm talking about the accumulation.
Okay, I mean,
Accumulation is 7.
but that's not. I mean, we're talking about the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame don't work like.
Okay,
I mean, okay.
okay. Put it this way. He's a
Correct.
2-time heavyweight champion. Because remember, he lost it and won it back.
Yes, it should
Okay,
certainly that.
so that
Yes.
gonna help you. That gonna help your case.
2
'Cause you
times.
It
able
will
to
help
win
you.
it back.
Yeah, it will definitely help your case. Like he's got a lot of stuff to help
Deontay
his
Wilder
case.
never won it back.
But that's it. This is not okay. Unless they're
Right?
trying to go into the
Right?
hall at the same time, that does not matter.
No. I'm saying if Deontay Wilder a Hall of Famer, because I believe he is, that means I believe that Anthony Joshua is a Hall of Famer, and he got a better resume than Wilder. His resume
Right.
is
Okay.
better than
So
Wilder.
all right. So let's go a different metric. Right. Let's do another one that the Hall of Fame does. Right. So
Hold
like,
on, man. Hold on, Smoke. That I mean, that makes sense. I mean,
What?
to me personally, hold on.
No,
One second.
I mean, I understand.
Hold
Okay.
on,
Do you want to go by resume? Like, do you want to talk about guys with better resume?
I'm not going down the resume rabbit hole. I'm not doing that, right? Because none of the top guys. It's too many top guys that hadn't fought each other. For me, that's why I'm not going down that rabbit hole. But what I will say is, it
right.
makes
So
sense. Hold on. It makes sense to me. It makes sense that Wayne Talk is saying, hey, if I think Deontay Wilder is a Hall of Famer, it's only right for me to also think that Anthony Joshua is a Hall of Famer. That makes sense because they're comparable, same era. One guy's had 3 straps, one guy's had 1 strap, one guy's had 6 title defenses, one guy's had 10, one guy's a 2-time champion. I mean, it only when it's not necessarily apples to apples, but
Right.
I can see how he's saying, hey, Wilder goes. If Wilder goes, AJ also goes, and guess what? Fury also goes.
Yeah,
So
Fury,
I don't see what the debate is in that.
Yeah,
The
all 3
resume
of them
shouldn't even
going.
matter.
All 3 of them going because
Yeah, the resume shouldn't matter.
the Wilder Tyson.
I'm just telling you that the stuff that what you just named for AJ, people have done, and they're not in the Hall of Fame. The stuff that you named for Wilder, but let me just finish, bro. The stuff that you named for Wilder, everybody who's done it is in the Hall of Fame.
AJ going.
Like you can tell, like 6 title defenses and 2-time and 3 belt era, like all this other stuff that you can name. There are guys with those same accolades not in the Hall of Fame.
Do you believe Josh? Hold on. First, Smoke. Do you believe Wilder going to the Hall of Fame?
Name, who you talking about? Smoke. Hold on. Who you talking about? Name what heavyweight you saying did that? Did ain't in the Hall?
A 2-time champ, not in the Hall of Fame. Chris Bird.
Shannon Briggs is not in the Hall. 2-time heavyweight champ.
So they 2-time heavyweight champions. Were they unified?
Yeah. I'm not sure if Chris was unified.
No.
I'm not sure if Chris was unified.
I'm answering it for you, Smoke. I'm telling you, no.
Wait a minute. Was Oliver McCall unified?
McCall,
I mean,
I do not know the
understand
answer to
that,
McCall.
like this 4-belt era thing. Like you guys are like extending.
You understand? Joshua won a gold medal too, so that gonna help.
I'm just telling you. We have not had an undisputed.
What I'm saying is Joshua won a gold medal. That's gonna help.
Yeah, that's boxing.
It definitely will help. It definitely will help it'll definitely help him. I'm not saying that it won't help him, but you're saying that I'm not saying it won't help him a lot. But we're talking about whether one guy gets in because another guy gets in, right?
Yeah, both of them.
Sure. Like you can talk about all the stuff at AJ, and maybe that will help him. But there are guys with these things that did not help.
So Smoke.
Hold on, man. Hold on. You gotta think
Wilder's a
about
Hall of Famer.
What'd you say?
Do you think Wilder's a Hall of Famer?
Yes, I think Wilder's going to the Hall. Like I said, what his accolades are is that his accolades are everyone who shares his accolades are in the Hall of Fame.
I get it. How is a guy that had 3 titles not in the Hall of Fame in your book?
Because that's not one of the. Okay, so let's just talk about the metrics of being in the Hall of Fame, because it's not what is.
So you know
it
the
literally
metrics
is
to
not
get in the
what
Hall
you're
of
talking
Fame?
about, right? So let's just talk about it. So I think where AJ has his best shot is one, gold medalist, and two, how many championship fights he's had. I think regardless of his title defenses and all that stuff, he's had a bunch of championship fights. So it's like that's one of the metrics, right? So another metric is like fighter of the year, knockout of the year, fight of the year, that kind of stuff. These are the Hall of Fame credentials. Not like, oh, your resume is better than
So
this
who
guy's
told you
resume.
those are the Hall of Fame credentials?
Say
Where's
again?
that at? Who told you that was the Hall of Fame credentials? Because I've never seen a Hall of Fame credentials.
The Hall of Fame. Like every single guy, like if you go through their bio, this is what they say every single time. How many championship fights he had? The big
No. I understand what you're saying. I'm saying, where is it at an article that says this is the Hall of Fame?
Oh, okay. So right. So it's. I mean, is it? Do you need an article for it? I mean, it's in a bunch of different articles.
I want to see that because I've never seen a Hall of Fame credential.
But I'll just tell you, it's right. The Hall of Fame. If you go to their website, they have the criteria, right?
Oh,
they talk
okay,
about who they have it. They talk about who. It's the Boxing Writers Association, BBWA, or something like that. They have a say. Then there's an international panel, like the sanctioning bodies. Like it's a whole group of people who decide the stuff. So that's the whole thing. Like when you're talking about bums.
So
like,
make the case for Wilder being a Hall of
When
Famer.
you're paying your sanctioning fees,
make the case for Wilder being a Hall of Famer.
To not be a bum. Like you're paying your sanctioning fees for the Hall of Fame not to continue a bum.
No. I'm saying, what is your case for Deontay Wilder being a Hall of Famer?
Like I said, the dude's got he's a bronze medalist, not a gold medalist, a bronze medalist.
Okay.
Like 10 title defenses, like I said, 7 by KO. 42, and also like I think he's got 2 Fight of the Year nominations. I think he's got a Knockout of the Year. How many title fights? 12 title fights.
Okay. So that's why I think Deontay Wilder is a Hall of Famer. But my case for Anthony Joshua is he's a gold medalist. He defended his title 7 times. He's been in 9 title championship fights. He also had 3 titles. He was a unified champion, and he defended the unified championship at least, I think, 3 out of those 7 times. He has a resume of, to me, even with Tyson Fury beating Deontay Wilder and Klitschko, Joshua still got a better resume than Klitschko and Wilder. He has a better resume than Klitschko and Wilder. Because Klitschko the only 2 people he got is Deontay. Not Klitschko, but Tyson Fury. All he got is Deontay Wilder and Klitschko. Joshua also has Klitschko. Joshua also got Parker. He also got Povetkin. He also got Dillian White. At one point,
I hear you, bro. I mean, I hear what you're saying.
At one point in the top 10 of heavyweights, Anthony Joshua had beat 4 of those guys in the top 10.
You're just naming stats that you like. That don't.
No.
I'm
not naming stats that I like.
What does it matter that you feel like Alexander Povetkin is a better? Like I'm just for real. Like, what does it matter that you think that Alexander's a better win than Bermain Stavern?
Because he is.
Okay, but what I'm saying, what does that matter to the Hall of Fame?
What you mean with a matter to the Hall of Fame?
I'm saying Povetkin had the best, but when he retired, that's the guy who had the best resume in the entire division, right? But and not only that, Chris Bird was the best guy he had the best record. Chris Bird ain't getting in the Hall of Fame. Vitaly got in.
But none of those guys got in. Chris
Bird ain't getting in. All I'm just trying to say to you, all I'm saying to you is this resume thing that you are talking about is a very subjective thing, and I don't think is objective is as relevant as a relative metric. Possibly, or else, why do you think? Let me just ask you a quick question, bro.
Because
hold on one
second.
Your rankings
determine how good you are. Smoke.
Can I ask you a question?
Determine how good you are. Smoke. Your rankings determine how good you are. When you get a ranking,
no, it doesn't. It's pay to play, bro.
Oh,
no, it doesn't. People went to jail for this. Anyway, let me just say this one thing.
Hold on.
Let me just ask you a question.
So anybody in the top 10,
do you think James Toney had a better resume than Andre Ward?
Let me look. Their resume is probably. Hold on.
Mike McCallum,
James Toney resume. Hold on. Yeah. No. I
Hey, he
think
got nothing, bro. He
James
got
Toney got a
all
better
time
resume.
Like, come on, bro. Let me help
James
you out.
Toney got a better
James Toney's
resume.
resume is way better than Andre Ward's.
Yeah, he got a
way
better
better.
resume.
And in a different level, like completely different level. James Toney was a second ballot Hall of Famer because he went up against Andre Ward.
He was a what? Second ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes, because he went up against at the same time. James Toney and Andre Ward were both nominated for the Hall of Fame the same time. Andre Ward got in. James Toney did not.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why that happened. This is the reason why James Toney didn't get in as a first ballot. I thought James Toney fought way past what he was supposed to fight. First of all, he probably should have retired 5 years before he retired. He probably should have, and he probably would have came up against nobody like Andre Ward. He probably would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. And he was caught doing PED, so you know they can hold that against you. They can say, well, you got caught using PEDs, so we gonna hold that against you and knock you down a peg. That can happen. You know what I'm saying? When you start doing these writers and stuff, how they take it. Some writers may say, okay, I think that doesn't matter, but a majority of the writers are like, look, I think it matters. I'm gonna knock them down a peg. We don't know what they were thinking when they made that man a second ballot Hall of Famer, because in my eyes, James Toney should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. But you know what I'm saying? I didn't do the voting. But yeah, he beat better fighters than Andre Ward beat. I agree with you. So we don't know why he was knocked down a peg. But I think it was the PEDs, and I think he went on longer than what he was supposed to go on. Andre Ward stopped early. In my opinion, Andre Ward probably had another 3 years left in him, but he stopped early. So a lot of stuff plays into how you get in the Hall of Fame. The timing plays into that. I mean, we all know that. So, but what I'm saying is this: I don't think fighters that you beat are subjective as much as you think, because a ranking means something. When you ranked a certain way, now I get it. We know we have corruption in boxing. We know guys get a certain ranking and this and that and this and that. But when you beat a Joseph Parker who has one of the trinkets, what makes Joseph Parker good is because he had one of the trinkets. When you beat somebody like a Klitschko, because remember, Anthony Joshua did beat Klitschko. Wilder didn't beat anybody on Klitschko level. Wilder never beat anybody on Klitschko's level. Wilder had a chance to beat somebody on Klitschko level, which was Tyson Fury, and he lost twice. That plays into it. He should have won one of those fights.
How is that on his level when Tyson Fury beat him?
Who? Tyson Fury beat who?
Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko when Vladimir Klitschko was active champion. AJ beat Vladimir Klitschko when he was off like the wrong side of 40. Like, just because he's the person Vladimir Klitschko, he was not the champion Vladimir Klitschko. He wasn't even the active fighter Vladimir Klitschko.
Hold on. I know Klitschko. I mean, I know Tyson Fury beat him.
So let's not just play.
This is not Fury beat him. No. I'm not going to play that.
There's a whole bunch of padding you're doing right now.
I'm not going to play that.
Let me just tell you something. Like, you want to both ways.
Deontay Wilder never beat anybody on Klitschko level.
Bro, great. Yeah, right. So you feel like he didn't beat anybody on Klitschko's level. I feel like Klitschko ducked. I feel like Klitschko ducked.
Who was Deontay Wilder's best win?
Let me
forget about Klitschko. Who was Deontay Wilder's best win?
Bro, I'm trying to answer your question. Vladimir Klitschko ducked Luis Ortiz.
I want to ask you, who was Deontay Wilder's best?
I'm saying all I'm saying to you. First off, the Hall of Fame is not determined by who your best win is, or else
I'm asking you who's the best opponent.
I understand,
bro.
I'm trying to stay in the realm of discourse because it's all over the place. On the one hand, you're saying that it's a four-belt era. But if you look at the four-belt era, it's a bunch of guys who didn't fight each other. Let me finish. It's a bunch of guys who didn't fight each other and they have play-to-play. So you got a guy with trinkets who got his trinket in a vacant title fight with Andy Ruiz, who defended against nobody, who gets in a four-belt era when nobody's fighting each other, so you don't know who the good guys are. So, but you want to give extra credit for being a unified champion in the four-belt era when nobody's fighting each other. I have to
give you credit for what you accomplished.
Correct, period. That's the thing, is you want to highlight the things that you want to highlight and ignore this other thing.
I'm not highlighting nothing I want to highlight.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to highlight, oh, this is the 4-belt era, and he didn't unify. Okay, like, first off, in the 4-belt era, there's not that many unified champions. So, like, him not unifying is not a thing. And then,
Okay.
secondly,
Say that again. Say that again. Hold on.
secondly,
Smoke. Say that last thing again.
if you want to
Hey,
go,
Smoke.
if you
Say
want to
that last thing
go,
again.
yeah, say again.
You said
I'm
in
saying,
the 4-belt era, not
in
that
the
many
4-belt
people
era,
unified, right?
there's not
So that
that
should give
many.
Joshua a leg up then, because he was able to unify.
No, it doesn't give him a leg up
Yes,
because
it
those guys
does.
aren't fighting each other. Okay, right.
Oh
You
my
think it gives you a leg up, but again, there are guys who
Are
are
you really?
who have multiple titles who are not in the Hall of Fame. So if we're talking about the Hall of Fame, not just what you think is
What did they
cool.
do with the titles? Did they defend
Say
them?
again.
Did they defend the
What did
titles?
who do with the titles? Great. These are,
Because you said
again,
there's
your
multiple
metrics.
guys.
I understand that these are
had
your metrics. Okay, so if you want to talk about
no.
your
You
criteria
have
for
to
Hall of
defend
Fame,
the
let's do
title,
that.
man. You can't just win it. But okay, that means Buster Douglas should be in the Hall of Fame. Is Buster Douglas in the Hall of Fame? I think he is.
No, he's
Is
not.
he?
Of course, and he's not going to get there. I'm telling you, like, what
Okay, so
your
he's not going
criteria
to
is.
get there.
Leon,
And
what
he
I'm
was
telling you is,
undisputed.
by what you're saying, Leon
He was
Spinks should be in the Hall
undisputed.
of Fame.
No, he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because he never defended it.
Okay, how about Oliver McCall then? Should he be in the Hall of Fame? He's unified. He defended it.
He defended it how many times?
I don't know.
Oliver McCall defended his title how many times?
I don't know. Maybe like 6, the same many as AJ, probably something like that.
Hold on. Let me look that up because I don't believe Oliver McCall got that many title defenses. Hold on, man. Hold on.
I think he had
let's not do this.
Yeah.
Okay, Oliver McCall. He fought Lennox Lewis. He knocked out Lennox Lewis. I already know that. That's his best win. He knocked out Lennox Lewis. We all know that. Let me look up Oliver McCall. Here you go, right here. And you said he got 6 title defenses? No, he don't. No, he don't. He won it versus what's the name? Hold on. Bacon, World Council. No, no. No, he don't have no 6 title defenses, my dude. No. His stuff is all over the place. I think he got 1. I think he won it versus. Did he win it versus Shian's? Whoever this guy is. I think he won it versus him, and then he lost it against Juan Carlos Gomez. I mean, come on, man. Oliver McCall. Oliver McCall don't have no 6 title defenses, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not saying he does. You know.
Yeah.
I'm just. We can look it up though. Hold on.
Yeah. But Anthony Joshua in the 4-belt era was able to get, no matter how you think he got him. He beat Joseph Parker. He beat Klitschko and was a vacant title on the line. That's not the first time a vacant title has ever been on the line, so that counts because other people fought for vacant titles throughout history. Period. That's how it goes. The title gets vacant and somebody fights for it, and they put it up in there. He beat good contenders, and he beat former champions. I mean, I understand that Deontay Wilder is a Hall of Famer. I've been saying Deontay Wilder is a Hall of Famer. Joshua is also a Hall of Famer. He's also, I don't know whether he's first ballot, second ballot, third ballot, fourth ballot. I don't know, but the man is a Hall of Famer. The man is a Hall of Famer.
So they're just not the same thing, right? So again, the stuff that you're talking about, it may come down. Like, you may like I'm just saying. I'm not saying that he won't get into the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying that one guy is definitely getting in the Hall of Fame, and one guy, I think it depends on who he goes up against, is getting in the Hall of Fame. I don't think that let's say, just by waiver, for instance, if they both retired right now and they both went into when we're up for the last position, I think I'm pretty sure that Wilder gets it and not AJ.
No, AJ getting in before Wilder, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Is the metrics
AJ
that they're
getting in
using,
before
right?
Wilder,
Like AJ
man.
does not have enough title fight.
Well,
He doesn't
first
have
of
even
all,
enough
they never
title
fought
fights.
each other, right? They never fought
No,
each
but
other.
that's not the point,
that's
bro.
not. It's not a head to head.
He doesn't have enough title fights.
What you mean? He don't have enough title fights? Smoke. What are you talking about? He got
How many?
9.
Okay.
He has 9.
Okay, great. Do you and
Wilder
you
got
know who
how
has
many?
more than 9? You know who has
How
more than
many
9?
Wilder got?
You
How
know,
many he got?
more than 9. He
He
has
got
10 title
12.
defenses.
He got 12.
Correct. So that's more title
Okay,
fights.
so 9 and 12, and plus one person got a gold medal, and one person got a bronze.
Okay, great. Do you think
Okay,
that's
so
going to matter
at,
over how
at
many
the
title
Olympic
fights you have?
level, somebody
great.
was a
Do you
champion
think that
and
you're
somebody came in third place.
Do you realize?
Right?
Do you realize that your Olympic his amateur record being better is not going to propel him over his
Yes,
professional career not being better?
because it's close. Yes,
Bro, it
is
ain't
because
close.
it's close.
12 is not close to 9.
Yes, it is. One
No,
person
it
was
isn't. You
unified.
just
The
want
other
it to
person never
be.
was
You know it's
unified.
close to 9. 10
The
is close
other
to 9.
person was never unified.
That
Do
don't
you get
and that
that?
only matters to you. You keep saying
No,
that.
that matters. Period.
It matters to who?
Dude, an extra title matters. What are you
To
talking
who?
about?
To who?
It matters in the
To
trinket.
who, bro?
The trinket.
In what
The
universe
trinket.
does it matter?
So you mean to tell me this is what you're trying to tell me, Smoke? In the full belt era, a guy that has one title and has 10 title defenses versus a guy that has, well, he got most of his title defenses on the IBF, but he got like 3 unified. You mean to tell me that guy doesn't compare to a guy with his total accumulation of title defenses doesn't compare to a guy that got 10 and this guy got 7? It doesn't.
Yes, it does compare. It does compare. It falls short.
Doesn't
You
compare.
can compare him, but one guy is actually, because you talk about title defenses, because you talk about knockout of the year, because you talk about fights of the year, because you talk about all this other stuff that actually matters to the Hall of Fame, not just to you, because we're talking about the boxing writers, right? We're talking about the awards that they give out to justify their own existence, right? Like it ain't like the sanctioning bodies. Cool. The sanctioning bodies have their own say in it, right? And I'm trying to tell you, even in that thing, the WBC carries much pull in the Hall of Fame. Like Larry Holmes got into the Hall of Fame basically by being the WBC champion.
You mean the IBF champion?
No, the WBC champion.
Who? Larry Holmes?
Larry Holmes.
Larry Holmes got most of his title defenses with the IBF.
No, he has more. His big title run was with the WBC. The IBF wasn't even a real. It wasn't even a real belt.
It was a WBC. It was a WBC.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like,
okay. So look at this. So you trying to tell me that Deontay Wilder has never sent anybody to Deontay Wilder, when he lost his title, he was never able to regain it. Never.
What does that matter, bro?
What you mean, Smoke?
What that got to do with the Hall of Fame?
One guy,
if he retired,
able to regain his title.
Okay, great.
Another guy,
cool. And you know what? He still don't have the title fights though.
And stayed losing.
Okay,
but
great. He stayed losing. I don't understand what your point is.
It's not like he got Klitschko level defenses like 20. It's not like he got 20, like he went on a 20 run and didn't get it back. I understand. You got 20. Klitschko got 20 or more than 20.
Okay.
He didn't go on a Klitschko run. Neither one of these guys went on a Klitschko run.
But you're not going in against Klitschko. Klitschko's already in.
I know Klitschko's already in. But what I'm saying is, if Deontay Wilder would have won 20 title defenses and never got it back, I can understand.
Bro, that has absolutely nothing to do with what a metric of the Hall of Fame. It just doesn't. Like, if you're going against a guy, if a guy has more title fights than you, he has more title fights than you. That's it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, that's it.
He got more title fights.
That's it. He's got 12 title fights.
So
you have
I hope
9.
they go up against each other.
He has more title defenses. He has 10 title defenses.
One of us gonna be right. One of us gonna be wrong.
No, it doesn't matter, because I don't really think. I hope that both of us, that this whole conversation is moot, because I really want them both to fight more.
You want
right? I hope that neither one of them retire right now.
I
don't want either one of them to retire right now. If Wilder calls it a career, cool, we call it a career, but I don't want him to call it a career right now. I think the heavyweight division is a little bit more boring without him.
I want to see that fight.
Which one?
Them two.
Yeah, I want to see him fight. I also want to see the Dillian White fight.
You want to see who?
Wilder and Dillian White.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, I want to see that fight. That's just me.
You want to see Wilder and Dillian White? Joshua stop Dillian White.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see both fights. I'm not saying either or. I'd rather see the AJ fight, but I want to see both fights.
I'm just saying, you calling for Dillian White and
No,
Wilder,
I
which is a
agree
good
with
fight.
you. I'm telling
Which
you,
is a
I'm
good fight.
agreeing with you. I already called for the one that you called for. I agree with you.
No,
I
that's
want to see
fine.
that.
I'm just saying, Joshua stopped White.
Sure. So did
Already.
Povetkin. So did Povetkin.
Okay, Joshua stopped Povetkin.
Yeah, I hear you. I want.
You see how you see where we going, right? Keep on going.
I understand. Wayne, you said you want to see the AJ fight. I said I do too. Right? So we agree. I also want to see the
both
AJ fight. In addition to the fight, in addition to that, it's not that I only like you may want to only see Wilder fight that guy, but I would like for Wilder to fight more than that guy, right? I would also be interested. I would be interested in the Andy Ruiz fight, but I would prefer the Dillian White fight.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, but the AJ fight, if it was just one person, sure, AJ. But I want to see.
I think AJ is a surefire Hall of Famer. Surefire.
I mean, I don't think he's going to retire. I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I think his next fight is going to be okay. So what happens if AJ steps aside?
If he steps aside, what happens?
Yes.
What do you mean? What happens?
I'm saying,
if he
what if he never gets another title? What if he never gets another title shot? Is he still going?
That's fine. Yeah. He's still Hall of Famer.
Nah,
if he never did another, especially now. Look, if AJ come back and beat Usyk, you can stop talking.
Now if he comes back and beats Usyk, then that's
that's 3 times.
But I'm saying if he never fights for another title, I'm just saying if he never even has another title fight.
If he never even have another title fight, he's still a Hall of Famer. Now, whether he's first ballot, the second ballot, the third ballot, I don't know, but he's still a Hall of Famer. They both did enough to be a Hall of Famer. Now, what I would rather see all 3 of them fight each other, Tyson Fury, him, and Wilder. Yeah, they should have did a round robin by now. They should have did a round robin, but they let politics take over the whole situation. They should have fought each other. Period. They should have fought each other, and then we wouldn't be having the conversation that we having. We'll know who's gonna go first, second, and third. Period. We'll know then. But they didn't fight each other. I
think they still would get in. Like win, lose, or draw. I think they still get in. Like I just want to see the fights, right? It's not really about if you win, you get in. It's like if you fight, you get in, and what happens, like kind of thing. Like Gotti was in there. He got in the hole because he had exciting fights. Like he lost the big fights.
I know he lost all his,
but he had a ton. But he had fight of the years. He had like a bunch of title fights, like stuff like that.
Yeah, but see, to me, when you start opening that Pandora's box, and look,
that's the whole thing, bro.
I get it. Gotti was an exciting fighter, but when you start opening that door, you gotta start letting some other people in. Then
I hear you, but you
gotta let Sean Porter in. You gotta let Sean Porter in. Now you gotta let Sean Porter in.
Sean Porter got no fights a year. Sean Porter's fights are boring as hell. The only
hold on. He got 2 fight of the year. I mean, he got 2.
No, he got fights. 1 nomination with Spence. He didn't win though.
He got. I'm just saying he got. To me, he got really 2 exciting fights that he was in. Keith Thurman.
No, I'm talking about the actual winning of the award that the boxing writers nominate you for and all that stuff.
Okay, but you got to start you got to let him in then. He's this era of Gotti. He's this era of Gotti.
Who?
Sean Porter is this era of Gotti.
No, he is not. He does not have fight. He does not have fighter of the year. He doesn't have fight of the year. He's not comeback kid. He's not exciting fight. Like he's kind of boring. Like a lot of his fights are not watchable. Berto, Alexander, what do you got? Kell Brook, Sebastian Vermeulen
was not watchable.
The Ugas,
but
he got a
the
ton
Ugas
of
fight
stinkers,
was watchable. Dude. I like the Ugas fight. That was a good fight. I like Keith Thurman fight. I like the Earl Spence fight. I like the Terrence Crawford fight, even though he got stopped.
Yeah, I'm just telling you that they're not fight of the years.
Okay, they ain't got to be fight of the years, man. Those exciting.
But they
fights.
do.
Only one person can win fight of the year. That doesn't mean other people didn't have
that's
really
my
great
whole point.
fights.
That's my entire point.
That doesn't mean another fighter didn't have a great fight.
It does. Right, you're correct. You're correct. And a lot of people have good knockouts, but when you get knockout of the year, that means that yours is better, right? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. This is what Wilder has. He has knockouts and he's got fights.
But I'm talking about Gotti versus Sean Porter.
Yes, but Gotti versus Sean Porter. Gotti has fights of the year, wins. He actually won the award.
Okay, but
he got I think he has like 2 separate fights.
Sean Porter has a case to get in.
Sean Porter has a case. I don't know. Tim Bradley ain't in yet. Tim Bradley is still on the outside.
Tim Bradley
So
gonna
this
get
will
in.
be Tim Bradley's
Tim Bradley
third
gonna
time.
get
Like
in.
next time,
Tim Bradley
like,
beat Pacquiao. He beat Marquez. He's getting in.
no, I'm just trying to tell you that it's been 2 rounds. It's been 2 rounds already, and he's not in.
That's fine. That's fine. He'll get in though.
I'm just telling you about Sean Porter.
Oh, you talking
Like,
about
you want to
Sean
talk about
Porter?
Sean Porter? I'm trying to
Sean
tell
Porter
you.
hasn't come up yet.
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. If Tim Bradley is having this hard of a time to get in, what do you think Sean Porter is going to do? Sean Porter has.
Okay, so who is Tim Bradley going up against?
Huh? He's already been. He's already okay. He's been up against this. This class was. It was James Toney, Cotto, and was it Bernard Hopkins?
Okay, it's gonna be hard for him to get in then.
Say again?
It's gonna be hard for him to crack that people to get in. It all depends on who you go up against too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's who you go up against. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And then it just gets harder and harder. Like whoever's going up against Canelo, like, you know, there's just some guys who are shoe-in first ballots, right? And then like these other guys who, you got to play the Russian roulette game. Tim Bradley's playing the Russian roulette game.
Do boxing Hall of Fame? They put people in every year or every 2 years?
They put in 3 people every year.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Tim Bradley get in the next 2-3 years though.
Who?
Yeah. So who coming up next year? Who's coming up next year?
I mean, a lot of people. Okay, so Pacquiao retired.
Yeah. But
So Pacquiao's
going to
wait
5 years,
so
right?
Pacquiao's going to be eligible in 3 years. So Pacquiao's going to be eligible in 3 years.
Oh, 3
Nonito
years.
Donaire's about to be out.
Okay. So maybe he'll get in before they come up.
Yeah, he better.
I'm serious. He might get in next year. Who's coming up next year?
Not for real. He probably gets in next time.
Yeah, he probably get up next year. He might get in next year. Now, I'm not saying Sean Porter gonna get in first, second, third, fourth. Sean Porter might get in 10th ballot. Shit, who knows?
He might. I don't know. He doesn't. He only had like a couple title fights. Like how many title fights he got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He only got no. He only got 3.
No, well, no. He beat Paulie, right? And then he had a title defense. He had a couple title defenses before he lost it to Kell Brooks.
And then he got it. And then he got it back again.
And then he fought Ugas.
And then he fought
Ugas. And then fought Earl.
Hold on. I think he got 3 or 4.
Yeah, he's got something. He don't have very many title fights.
No, he don't have very many title defenses. And then, you know, Sean Porter, nobody looks at him as, you know, the top welter. I mean, he's one of the top welterweights, but nobody look at him as being a welterweight of this era.
No, I mean he's a workman. He's a guy that fought everybody in an era that everybody doesn't fight everyone, right?
He's an actual.
He is the person who did he literally fought Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. You look at his thing, Ugas, everybody.
Oh.
He didn't fight Pacquiao, basically.
That man fought everybody except for Pacquiao. Yep. So that's gonna help him. He fought everybody except for Pacquiao. That's gonna help him. I mean, he lost a lot. He beat Adrian Broner, which I think Adrian Broner gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he fought Paulie.
He beat Keith Thurman. He beat Burrow,
Devin Alexander, Berto, yeah,
Danny,
Spence, Thurman, Garcia, Bud.
Yeah, man. I think he got a good shot to get in. It's gonna be a long time, but
it's gonna be a long.
It's gonna be a long time, but he'll get in. It's people that's like.
All right,
60
let me
years
ask
old
you this: Sean Porter or Lomachenko?
Huh?
Sean Porter or Lomachenko?
Oh, Lomachenko for sure, man.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, and Lomachenko only got like 15, 16 fights. Like,
yeah, Lomachenko got 15, 16 fights, but he got some quality wins.
He does. I'm just letting you know. Sean Porter, Chocolatito.
Chocolatito.
Yeah, I'm saying. These are all active guys. Like Sean Porter just retired and Pacquiao just retired. So they are coming up in the hall at the same time.
Yeah.
Chocolatito's like right around his Chocolatito's right on his ass. Kovalev.
Is Kovalev getting in?
I don't know. Is he the crusher?
Let's see how many title defenses he got.
I'm not sure. You know, he was knocking him out for a minute. He got like win over Bernard Hopkins, win over Pascal. What do you got? I mean, really, he was just knocking cats out. And he's got 2 fights with Andre Ward that he both lost. But, Andre Ward and Bernard Hopkins are both Hall of Famers themselves.
Let's see how many title defenses this man got. So
Really, how many title fights?
How many
Is
title?
that
Yeah, title fights. Okay, title fights, title defenses. Let's see. Okay, he
because they're kind of one and the same, right? Like that. That's how you get to it's really about title fights, but the defenses get you there. That's why it's like you go title defense because it's like an easier metric to just like count how many times a guy fought for a title. But that's really what they're counting.
So let's see. Okay, he won it against Cleverly, and then he defended.
I forgot about that fight.
He defended it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then he lost to Andre Ward after he defended it 8 times. And then I believe he got it back, right?
Yep,
he got it back.
Then lost again and got it back again.
And then he beat one. That's 9, and he lost it, and he got it back. He got 10 title defenses. Yep, 10 title defenses, and some of them unified.
I mean, how many title fights though? Because I think even the
title fights.
Because Yard was a title fight, and also Canelo was a title fight.
I think he got 13 title fights.
There you go.
Yeah, I think he got 13, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 14. So we're up in there. So that's good.
I'm saying.
Not that bad.
Kovalev got more than Porter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Porter was never a dominant fighter. What was Porter? Porter is what you said he was. Porter was a workman that happened to win the title twice. That really doesn't happen. A workman really don't win the title 2 times. He may get lucky and win it once, but a workman usually don't win it twice. So he did something that was kind of unusual.
Yeah, he's 2-time champ. I don't know how many. Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I'm trying to picture his title. Like his first run, I just don't know how many fights he had before he ran to Keith Thurman.
Let's see. Sean Porter. We ain't gotta think about it. Sean Porter. Let me see. What's up, Fight Doctor? You can chime in. Let me see. Sean Porter. Okay, he won it versus Alexander.
Yo, what's going on, gentlemen?
What's up? He won it versus Alexander. Then he defended against Paulie. No, Ashley, he won a vacant title versus Julio Diaz. Right?
Yeah.
That's a minor title. No?
Yeah, you went the first one. He was the IBF. He was first the IBF champ, right?
That's IBF North. Oh no, okay, my fault. So he won it versus Devin Alexander. Hold on, let me see, man.
There was something that went along that was funky about that. I kind of remember, there was some politics behind the Devin Alexander and the belt thing.
Because it says Bacon, IBF versus Julio Diaz. But
is it a?
No, that's a minor.
Yeah, I think the Julio Diaz was a minor belt, and he won against Devin Alexander. Yeah.
Okay, so he won against Devin Alexander. Yes. He defended against Paulie, and then he lost to Kell.
Ooh, so that's 3 right there. There's 3 title fights right there, and then
he fought Keith
Thurman for the title, right?
Yeah, he fought Keith Thurman for the title. That's another title fight.
And then he fought Danny Garcia for the title.
and then he fought Danny Garcia for the title.
And then he fought Ugas for the title.
He defended against Ugas after he beat Danny.
And then he
Garcia.
fought and then he
Spence
fought for the title.
Earl Spence, and then he fought Terrence Crawford.
So that's that's 7 right there, and then 8.
That's like 7, and then he
and then Bud 8.
He got 3 title defenses.
Yeah, title fights.
I mean, that's not a lot of meat on the bones, but hey, he did win the title.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. AJ got 1 more than him. AJ has 1 more than Sean Porter.
Yeah,
okay, but hold on. AJ was more of a dominant fighter than Sean Porter.
Well, so you got to put things in their proper perspective. Sean Porter fought in a deep welterweight division, whereas Joshua fought in a weak heavyweight division. So, you got to put things in their proper perspective. If Joshua were fighting the caliber of opposition that Sean Porter was fighting, then he'd probably have a similar. Look, Joshua has a knockout loss to Andrew Ruiz, and he just lost to a cruiserweight. So,
well, hold on.
So yeah, in my mind, if Joshua were fighting in a deep heavyweight division that looked like welterweight, he'd probably have a couple more losses on his record.
I mean, and let's keep it real. Let's keep it all the way funky. He got to even the title shot from like boxing politics. This whole 4-belt era stuff you're talking about. The WBO making it the 4th belt got some funky rule where you can just like challenge a guy and not work your way through the division. I'm not saying, you know, it's still cool. I'm just, you know.
Hey, Fight Doctor, we do are we giving? I mean, like Usyk is a dominant fighter of this era. He's one of the dominant fighters. I know he's cruiserweight, but we've seen cruiserweights come up and be really good heavyweights, right? So I think Joshua losing to Usyk is that's not a bad thing. Him losing to Usyk.
No, it's not a bad thing, but I'm just saying if we're going to compare Anthony Joshua to Sean Porter, then I think we need to look at the whole landscape, right? And you know, I maintain that Sean Porter was fighting in a deeper welterweight division than Anthony Joshua was fighting in the heavyweight division.
I give you that.
Yeah, no question.
Do you think?
But then you start talking about that amateur career, though. Then you start talking about that amateur career.
Do you think Anthony Joshua is a Hall of Famer?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Because Smoke don't think so either.
Let's talk to him, Fight Doctor. Talk.
I believe he is.
Not even close. I mean,
what do you think? Wilder is a Hall of Famer?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
But I tell you what, I think Wilder might have a better argument than Joshua does.
Give me the reasons why Joshua's not a Hall of Famer.
Well, who is he beating?
He's beating Klitschko, Joseph Parker. He's beating Dillian White. Hold on, he's beating Dillian. No, you asked me who was beating. He beat Dillian White. He beat Dillian White.
Dillian White was not ranked when they fought anywhere. They fought for vacant.
But that turned out to be a great win. Hold on, it turned. A lot of these wins come great afterwards, so that turns out to be a great win because Dillian White is in the top 10.
How is it a great win? You know, Dillian White has 0 title fights.
I'm saying that it's okay. It turned out to be a good win because Dillian White is still in the top 10 of heavyweights.
Yeah, last I checked, Dillian White got 1 punch knocked out by a 40-year-old heavyweight. So I'm not sure that qualifies as a good win. I mean, what the hell has Dillian White ever done in his career? I mean, look, the highlight of his career, Dillian White, the highlight of his career is getting knocked out by what's his name? Povetkin. That's the highlight of his career.
So who you think is Deontay Wilder's best win?
Probably Ortiz.
Ortiz never been a champion.
Nope.
Okay, so Joshua and Wilder kind of on the same level as far as being able to get in the Hall of Fame. I think both of them are Hall of Famers. The reason why I think Joshua's a Hall of Famer, Joshua was a unified champion. He had multiple championship fights. He had multiple championship defenses. He's a 2-time heavyweight champion. He got a chance to be a 3-time heavyweight champion if he beat Usyk. If he come back and beat Usyk, then we can stop talking after that because that man is a surefire Hall of Famer. But I think he's a Hall of. Go ahead.
So let me chime in on that real quick. So first and foremost, we need to define what a champion is, right? Now, everyone doesn't subscribe to the same methodology or definition that I use when I define a champion.
Okay.
But in my mind, a champion is the man who beat the man who beat the man.
Okay.
Now, Anthony Joshua has never beaten the top heavyweight. He's never done that. Ever.
He never beat the top heavyweight. Is that what you're saying?
He has never beaten the number 1 heavyweight in the world.
Okay. So you understand that Deontay Wilder never beat the number 1 heavyweight either.
Okay, I'm fine with that. And I'm also fine with leaving Deontay Wilder out of the Hall of Fame. Because to be completely honest with you, you know, his career is a lot of fluff. I mean, he knocked over a bunch of tomato cans. The best one on his record is Luis Ortiz. That's a good win. But in my mind, beating Luis Ortiz does not put you in the Hall of Fame, just like Anthony Joshua beating a Vladimir Klitschko coming off of a loss, beating honestly, I mean, after Klitschko, his record is kind of thin. I mean, who is the man ever beaten? Beating a 40-year-old coming off a loss, Klitschko, and a get 1 punch knocked out Dillian White is supposed to get you in the Hall of Fame? I don't think so. I'm sorry. But if you look at Joshua's career, and if you remove Klitschko, you
can't remove Klitschko because he did it.
I understand that. But beating a 40-year-old coming off a loss Klitschko, I don't know that's good enough to get you in the Hall of Fame.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
so
I mean, listen, I mean, seriously, how is it that you get in the Hall of Fame? You never beat the best guy in your division.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you that.
the only guy in this era of heavyweight to beat the best guy in the division was Tyson Fury. He's the only one that did it.
Well,
Exactly.
I'll say that it's always good to have a Hall of Famer on your resume, right? It's just cool like that. So he's got it, like that is the bright spot, and that is the lone bright. Like that is you can't argue. Vladimir Klitschko is sitting right there in the Hall of Fame right now.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's the highlight of. That's really the only noteworthy thing. No, I take that back. So there are two noteworthy fights on Joshua's resume, maybe three. The Klitschko win, the loss to Ruiz, and now the loss to Usyk. Those are the noteworthy fights on his resume.
Ooh,
okay, so he was able to come back. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you this. Another noteworthy fight on his resume. He was able to come back and avenge his loss, the first one, right?
True. Yeah.
Okay.
So
hold on. So now he has a chance to avenge this loss. Let's give him that chance. Let's wait and see how it pans out.
That's not bad.
If he come back and avenge this loss, that's another noteworthy win for his career. So
you know what?
You can have a yin and a yang.
Did Vladimir ever avenge a loss?
Who? Vladimir Klitschko?
No, well, he avenged one, but that
did Sam Peter? Was that a Sam Peter one?
No, he avenged the loss to Lamont Brewster, but only
Lamont Brewster. That's what it was. Lamont Brewster. That's what it was. Lamont Brewster. I get him mixed up. Lamont Brewster. That's what it was.
But that doesn't count in my mind because he waited until the man was basically crippled. Okay. So I don't count that as
I mean, I know Vladimir cleaned up a bunch of his leftovers. They would clean up each other's leftovers, right? They wouldn't like. But yeah, he did fight.
You get in the ring. That's my thing. You get in the ring, you get in the ring. You know how old you are. You know if you're injured. You know this and that. If you get in that ring, man, you're saying that you have a chance to win. So if you don't win, I can't go back and say, well, he was crippled or he was this or he wasn't prepared or this or that. It is what it is.
I gotta tell you, bro. Like it's weird because I'm with Fight Doctor a little bit more. Like I hear you. Like it is noteworthy the rematches, but they're only noteworthy because he lost.
Right, yeah. And he listen. He wasn't supposed to lose to Ruiz. He wasn't supposed to lose to Usyk.
So hold on. So y'all want to do this, right? Y'all want to go back.
I think Usyk fight.
Hold on. We know we got even dominant heavyweights that lost to people they weren't supposed to lose to. Oliver McCall knocked out Lennox Lewis. He wasn't supposed to lose to Oliver McCall.
Yeah,
if y'all want to do that, we can do that. If y'all want to do that, we can do that.
Lennox Lewis was not dominant, but Hakeem Rothman is a better example. But what I'm saying, I just wanted to say,
we can do that if y'all want to do that.
Is Oliver McCall in the Hall of Fame?
Lost to people. You saying that Joshua lost to heavyweights he wasn't supposed to lose to, but I'm telling you that dominant heavyweights lost to people they weren't supposed to lose to.
Yeah, but AJ is not a dominant heavyweight, so let's just forget that.
Okay,
but yes, dominant heavyweight did.
Okay. If you don't think, I will say
that I think Usyk is still a significant fight even without the loss.
If you don't think that Usyk, that Joshua's a dominant heavyweight, that's fine. That's fine if you don't think he's a dominant heavyweight.
Well,
what I'm saying is this: it's guys that lost that weren't supposed to lose to fighters. We know that.
Let me ask this question. Give me some examples of dominant heavyweights. Give me three.
Well, Ali was a dominant heavyweight.
Okay.
Larry Holmes was a dominant heavyweight.
Okay.
Lennox Lewis was a dominant heavyweight.
Okay, stop right there.
Yeah.
In each example, Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali, you have a guy who beat the guy who was at the top of the division.
True.
Ali did it twice.
True.
Arguably. Actually, you argue he did it 3 times.
True.
Okay. Lennox Lewis did it at least twice.
Yep. True.
Right? Larry Holmes probably did it at least twice.
That's true.
Anthony Joshua has never, ever.
His career ain't over yet, though. His career ain't over yet.
I don't know. That remains to be seen.
No. I'm saying he's still going. So he still got a chance to knock off a Tyson Fury. He still has a chance.
He has to get by Usyk first.
That's fine. He has to get by Usyk first, but I'm saying
that's highly questionable.
Okay, look, we can say it's highly questionable, but as long as somebody's career is going on, I'm gonna give him the leeway to see what he's gonna do because he still got a chance to do it. It's not like he retired.
Who are you picking in a rematch
against Usyk? I got a favorite Usyk. I got a favorite Usyk.
I think you've essentially answered your own question right there.
No, I have to favorite Usyk based on what Usyk did in the first fight. I can't say Anthony Joshua is going to win the fight. And I picked Anthony Joshua to win the first fight, but I can't pick him to win the second fight. I can't outright pick him. But I'm not saying he don't have a chance to win the second fight. He does have a chance to win the second fight because I looked at the fight and I seen some things that Anthony Joshua can do different in the fight. First of all, he can use a more authoritative jab to keep Usyk resetting. He can actually move forward behind that jab instead of trying to box with Usyk. He can also get his lead foot on the outside of try to at least tie or do a 50% with Usyk and getting his lead foot on the outside because he kept on having his lead foot on the inside, which he didn't have no punching leverage. So I see some things that he can do differently, but I can't pick him to win the second fight. No, I'm not going to bet no money on him winning the second fight. But he can win the second fight.
Well, sure. I mean,
if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things he could do differently. But, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think at this point, I don't think he can win a rematch with his current trainer.
Okay.
I think he's going to have to switch trainers.
Okay.
And I just don't know that even if he switches trainers, that there's enough time between now and the next fight. If the next fight if the rematch were going to be his next fight, for a new trainer to mold Anthony Joshua into what he would need to be to beat a guy like Usyk.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you. The sticky part is he has to train. People say he has to change trainers, and I agree with you. The new trainer is not going to be able to instill anything. The only thing I say is if he does get a new trainer, what the new trainer need to do is maybe add one thing significant that can help him in the fight to win the fight instead of trying to put a lot of stuff on his table. Now, if the new trainer does that, try to sharpen up what he got and maybe add one nuance to the fight, because a lot of times one nuance can make a difference in the fight. If he can do that, one significant nuance, then I say, okay, other than that, stay with his old trainer. I don't think necessarily because you lose a fight, man, or lose two fights, you have to change a trainer. Like everybody was saying, change the trainer after Andy Louise fight loss. He kept his trainer. What he do? He made a nuance by moving a little bit more than he did in the second fight. Instead of being on his front foot, he moved because Andy Louise is not a good mover, and he was able to win the fight on the technical side, right? He didn't dominate Louise as much as really dominate him, but he made a technical nuance, thing to the fight, and he was able to win the fight. Now, it's going to take more than a nuance to beat Usyk because Usyk is better than Louise. Usyk brings more of a dynamic thing to the ring. But I named three things that the new trainer can work on him with that would not mess him up, as far as foot placement, as far as his having an authoritative jab. I'm talking about he has to have a jab to where he's moving forward and he's pushing Usyk back. Because I seen in that fight when he was pushing Usyk back, he was having success. He just didn't push him back enough. For whatever reason, he didn't push him back enough.
I think he lacks confidence.
Yeah, he could let he. I think Joshua. Okay. Does he lack confidence?
Listen, I tell you what. In my mind, that 12th round was very revealing. It was very revealing because Usyk almost stopped Joshua in that 12th round.
You think that was a confidence thing? The reason why he almost stopped him, or more of a being tired?
No, well, he was definitely gassed. There's no question about that. But the thing is that I think at the end of the 12th round, Usyk gained a huge psychological advantage over Joshua. Because here it is. Because I honestly don't think that Joshua thought Usyk would still be standing, let alone the aggressor in the 12th round.
I agree with that.
And, Usyk essentially put an exclamation point after the victory in the 12th round. That was the icing on the cake and the cherry on the top, the 12th round. Right?
Yeah, but see, looking at the fight, see, when I look at two fighters, when I see them fight, and at the end of the fight, even though a guy wins, if I say, man, that guy was so dominant, I don't think the guy can come back and possibly even win the second fight. But when I seen the fight, I was like, man, this AJ can do it's I'm not saying it's extraordinary things AJ has to do. He just has to do some fundamental things. Like the number one thing is foot placement. When you let a guy, what I know Usyk has better feet. So but Joshua don't have bad feet, but I know Usyk got better feet. So Usyk is going to win the battle on the having the lead foot on the outside. Joshua just cannot get dominated in that area, but I thought he did. I thought Usyk dominated him on the foot placement. And I thought Usyk was able to move around and make Joshua think. Joshua cannot fight Usyk on the thinking landscape because Usyk is a way better fighter IQ wise, and he has more arsenal. He has more of an arsenal. What AJ has to do is fight like a big heavyweight. You have to come with your jab, with your weight behind the jab, push Usyk back as much as you can, because if you push Usyk back, that will help you on the foot placement. That will help you of not losing the foot placement as bad as you did in the first fight. And it will make Usyk have to keep resetting, because Joshua was throwing a pawing jab. What is that? You can't paw jab with a guy that can counterpunch the way Usyk can. He came out there thinking he can outthink and outbox Usyk, and he cannot do that. I'm glad he found out that he can't do that. Now you got to do something else. Now, is that gonna take a new trainer? I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, he needs to fight like a heavyweight. He needs to fight like a big man, and he was giving up his height, which I didn't like. And I thought, and I agree with you on the foot placement. He allowed Usyk to win that battle, and he wasn't throwing the right hand enough. But I mean, I guess the reason being is that Usyk was giving him angles.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But I mean, yeah, I think. I mean,
in your estimation of looking at the fight, was it so dominant that you don't think Joshua cannot win the second fight?
Well, I mean, in the second half of the fight, Usyk started to clown Joshua. Like the first half of the fight was competitive. Usyk was giving Joshua problems with the little things that he was doing, but it wasn't lopsided. It wasn't one-sided. But the second half of the fight, it started to get a little ridiculous, you know. And I mean, I'm not quite sure what to attribute that to, other than, I mean, maybe perhaps Usyk is as good as advertised. Who knows, you know? But I just don't think that Joshua, given his current situation, is going to win the rematch. He's going to have to make some drastic changes. And I just don't know if the rematch is going to be early 2022. I just don't know he has enough time to make those types of adjustments. Yeah.
I think Usyk is as good as advertised. I think Usyk has shown that he's as good as advertised. I think Usyk is just as good of a cruiserweight that we have seen and moved up and did his thing, just like a Holyfield. He's actually bigger than Holyfield. When Holyfield moved up, he's more of a I think Usyk, his body is more of a natural heavyweight. Holyfield had to lift weights to put on muscle to contend with the heavyweights, which he did. He was successful in doing it. I think Usyk is every bit of the fighter that Holyfield was. I think his arsenal, his movement, his power, his combination punching. We know Holyfield is a combination puncher. Usyk is a combination puncher. If those two guys fought in their prime, I wouldn't even know who's gonna win. I wouldn't say, because I know hindsight is 2020. We will say, because Holyfield's career is already done and we've seen what he did, all the great things he did. A lot of people will pick Holyfield, right? I understand that. I probably will pick Holyfield, but I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if Usyk beat Holyfield, beat a prime Holyfield, and they both prime at the same time, because Holyfield had his toughest fights with guys about his size.
Yeah,
he did.
But Holyfield is on another level.
I can't say he's on another level because
Well, his opposition is that's what they
okay.
say.
Okay,
Holyfield is beating a lot much better fighters.
Okay, you can say that because you only can fight who's in your era, right? You only can deal with who's in your era. You can't. It's not like Usyk can pull all the Holyfield fighters and put them in his era and fight them. Which I agree with you on that. He had better competition. But what I'm saying, when you in that ring fighting the competition of your era, and I see Usyk giving all these heavyweights problems. I see him giving Tyson Fury a lot of problems. Tyson Fury has problems with little guys. Little guys. He has problem with little guys, like the little short guys. I know Usyk is 6'3". He's not short, but I'm saying, Tyson Fury is 6'9", so anything to him is short. 6'3" to him is short. But I'm saying I will pick Tyson Fury to beat Usyk, but man, I'm not betting my money on it. I'm not betting my money.
I think I still can't get past the strategy, the pre-fight strategy to fight Usyk the way that they fought, because it just didn't really. It's not the way AJ fights, firstly, and then secondly, it just played into Usyk's hands. It's just a crappy fight. I don't know. I think he still can beat Usyk, get him out of there. I don't think he needs to break it down and foot plate. Like, we can talk about the anatomy of the loss, and I agree with you. His foot placement was trash. But I just think really what it boiled down to is they try to make it like an Olympic-style boxing match because they're both Olympians, and his coach is an Olympian. So you just had a bunch of Olympians in there, and we just saw two huge dudes fight like they were, really lightweights.
Hey, I think it was a lot of arrogance on Joshua's part. He thought he can go in there and outbox that man. That's what he thought. He thought he can go in there and outbox. I'm gonna tell you what was in Joshua's mind. I'm gonna tell you what was
arrogant. It's just bad strategy.
Yeah, no. Your strategy, your arrogance play into your bad strategy. Ask Teofimo Lopez. Your arrogance plays into your bad strategy. What I'm saying is this. Joshua wanted to go in there and beat Usyk at his game so people can say, well, man, he didn't beat him with size. He beat him with skill. That's what Joshua was trying to do. He was trying to go in there and say, look, I beat this guy with skill. He found out you can't beat that guy with skill. You're gonna have to fight like a heavyweight. But
that's the same. But that's the thing, right? So, like, he did the same thing with Andy Ruiz. Let me go trade on the inside with a guy who's got flipper arms and who's known for fast hands and fighting on the inside. Let me go do that to show you that I'm the. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I think he can win. I think, but really, like, his team just lets him down. It's not just him as a fighter. He's got the attributes that he's got, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on around him that just, I feel like, on the one hand, it's made him a bunch of money, and he's got, that stellar, that Hall of Fame win, and we're talking about whether or not he can be a Hall of Famer and all that stuff. So on the one hand, you can only knock him so much, but on the other hand, they've done him a real disservice by the way that they've moved him and who they put around him. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of his team.
But I remember Eddie Hearn doing the interview after the fight. Eddie Hearn said that he knew what the strategy was. He knew that Anthony Joshua was going to try to go in there and box him. And he said that he didn't like the strategy from the beginning. He didn't like the fact that he knew that Joshua was going to try to go in there and box.
Okay, so it's not just me tripping. Yeah. Everyone, like, people who saw that was actually what the case was, right? So I'm watching the fight. By the third round, I'm like going like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, it was a bad strategy.
It was a terrible strategy. I mean, they should have gone in there with the mentality that Joshua's the bigger man. I'm going to walk through this guy and knock his block off. And that should have been, why are you trying to box with this guy? You're giving him the advantage. He's the better boxer. You're supposed to go in there and destroy this man. You are the heavyweight. He's coming up to your division, right? You're supposed to give him a sound, warm welcome to the heavyweight division. Finish the job that Derek Chisora started. That's what Joshua was supposed to do.
Hey, I thought that Derek Chisora fight really helped Usyk though, because Derek Chisora fought like a heavyweight, and Usyk was able to experience, a heavyweight being a heavyweight, and I think if Joshua would have fought like a heavyweight, I think Joshua probably would have had a better chance to win. But who knows? Usyk probably would have been able to weather that storm.
Possibly.
I don't think people giving Usyk a lot of credit. I think people are still waiting on Usyk to prove himself. I think, in my mind, I think the man proved himself. I mean,
Yeah,
I think people.
Well, I think it's fair to say that Usyk has proven himself to be the second best heavyweight in the world.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah, man.
You know what? I'm not really for this Highlander stuff for real. Like, you got to fight. You got to prove it. Just because you beat one style don't mean you beat every style. You just beat a guy who is on top of his game. That's cool. That don't mean that you take his spot. Like, Usyk just haven't done the work in the division for me to say that. Like, Chaz.
So who you think is second?
Chaz Witherspoon, Derek Chisora, and Anthony Joshua does not get you the second best heavyweight to me.
So who the second best heavyweight?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got to fight it out. I know who I think the best. Like it's either.
Bosworth got Joshua.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. If they fight again, right? I still think I'm going to. I think wow. I wouldn't be surprised if Joshua won. That's the thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Either.
So are you saying Joshua number? Like, are we going like Tyson Fury number 1, but AJ and Usyk 2, or Usyk number 2, AJ number 3, and Wilder's 4?
Yeah, I mean, Ring Magazine.
But that's Ring Magazine. I'm just saying, like, how do you figure this out? Like, if Wilder and Fury were fighting for 1 and 2, how does AJ and Usyk figure it?
Because look, check this out. If you feel like Wilder and Tyson Fury was fighting for 1 and 2, which I think at the time that they were fighting for 1 and 2, I think that Joshua had a case to be 2 over Wilder, but nevertheless, if you think that they was fighting for 1 and 2 lost, that means
no,
hold on. If you think Tyson Fury and Wilder was fighting for number 2, if you think that Wilder was number 2 lost. Now,
no, they're saying the loser was going to be number 2.
How does
whoever lost that fight was going to be the second best?
If you lost,
no, because it was fighting for the top spot. Number 1 and number 2, okay. Right? Yeah. So you're fighting for the top spot. So if you're fighting for the top spot and you lose, you're the number 2. That's what you're fighting for. You're fighting for who's going to be first place, who's going to be second place.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't look at it like that. Okay, so if they was fighting for number 1, number 2, number 2 lost, and Joshua and
no, Usyk, you're not understanding.
Hold on, I get what you're saying. You saying the loser automatically get number 2. I don't see it that way.
That's what they're trying to figure out. If you're trying to figure out who the top guy is, the guy who loses is not the top guy. He's right under the top guy.
Oh, okay. I don't. But I just told you, I thought Joshua had a case of being number 2. I don't.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying. That's the issue. That is literally the issue. Is whether or not Wilder and Fury were actually fighting for number 1 and number 2.
Okay.
But because if it was just to fight to see, and that's the problem. That's just like literally the problem with the whole division when you don't fight people coming up. So now all you do is knock somebody off, and now you have to reshuffle the deck with a guy who has 3 fights literally in the whole division.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we could say, okay, so Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder the second fight. At that time, Joshua had regained his title, right? At that time, I believe Joshua regained his title.
Yeah,
I can say when Joshua regained his, when Joshua lost his title the first time, you could say Wilder was number 2 at that point, or number 1.
No, you can say Wilder was number 1 at that point.
Okay, Wilder number 1 and Tyson Fury number 2. Okay, so then when Joshua got his title
back, he would be number 3, right?
He'd be number 3. Okay, now Wilder and Fury fights for 1 and 2. Okay, Wilder and Fury fight for number 1 and 2. Then Fury beats him in the second fight. So Fury becomes number 1. Wilder become number 2.
Yes.
Okay. So now, while Joshua is fighting, who Joshua fought? Pulev. Joshua fought Pulev, and then Tyson Fury and Wilder fought again. So is it for 1 and 2 again? It just
So
flipped.
the thing is, all right. So the thing is, yeah, I don't know. I just don't like really. The AJ's not even in it anymore, right? Because he's lost. Like, so it to me, it's the so to me, AJ and Wilder should be fighting for the third spot, and maybe Usyk and AJ. Like, I just don't know. I don't know who's fighting for the second spot. I
Okay.
like. What do you say about Usyk if he loses to Fury? Is he like the second best heavyweight, the third best heavyweight, or
Okay.
he's either the second or third, right?
Uh-huh. Well, I look at it like this: Wilder and Joshua lost. So I gotta say Tyson Fury number one, Usyk number two.
Yeah,
That's
but how is
what I gotta
Usyk?
say.
How do you get Usyk over Wilder? That's what I'm saying. Like none of these guys fought, so it's not like AJ proved that he was better than Wilder.
Yeah,
Like
that's
all
true.
you talk about is a couple of dudes that lost to Tyson Fury at this point.
That's true.
Well,
Well,
I have a problem putting Wilder ahead of Usyk only because Wilder's coming off 2 straight losses.
yeah,
Now I
that's
understand
that's
that
what I'm saying.
they're the 2 straight losses to the best heavyweight in the world, but you know
It's still
Usyk
2
is
straight
undefeated.
losses.
Now, Usyk,
I understand, but if you also have Usyk losing to him, it's the same guy that's beating both dudes.
Usyk losing to who?
To Fury.
When?
I'm saying if Usyk was to fight Fury,
Uh-huh.
right? Like that would be I guess Usyk. I guess what we can say is Fury is number one. So let's say Usyk steps up to Tyson Fury, loses to Tyson Fury. Who's number two?
No, we don't have to do that because we have to
That's my
work.
whole point. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to say who the number two is right now because I think there's
Well,
really only number one, and nobody has fought to say who's number two. They
I'm gonna
haven't fought
say
each
this.
other.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. If you in fact is number two and you lose 2 straight fights, man, you can't hold on to number two, man.
I'm not saying that you can hold on to it. I'm just saying that somebody else has got to take it though. Just because like Usyk. Like, all right, so you're number one, number two. You lost
Uh-huh.
you lost it. We know who the clear number one is.
Uh-huh.
But the next tier, right?
Uh-huh.
You have now all the guys who could be candidates for number two. None of them have actually faced each other.
Okay, that's
And
fine.
not only that, the guy who may have the best shot of being number two, just lost to a guy who's fresh to the division.
Okay, so think about this, Smoke. So you said you have to go get the number 2 spot. Okay, so what if Usyk beat Joshua again, and now he solidified that first time he beat Joshua, because some people say, well, Joshua had a bad night or whatever they're gonna say. Let's just say he beat Joshua again, this time by knockout. So, and then you got the other guy, Wilder, who you say is number 2, lost 2 straight, and this guy won 2 straight. Lost 2 straight, 1-2. I gotta say Usyk is number 2. Even though he didn't fight Wilder. Because he's winning and Wilder is losing. So I think you can lose your ranking. You can lose your ranking without somebody coming to beat
Here's
you
this
for your
whole
ranking.
4 belt era stuff. This is the problem with the 4 belt era. These dudes just need to fight each other. Because I
That's
don't
true.
want to talk and
That's
debate
true.
the guy into a second place.
That's true. That's true. That's true. It's opinion. It's opinionated as long as they don't fight each other.
And that's what's lame about the 4 belt era, which is why I don't really want to But what are you doing in the 4 belt era? When a bunch of guys are babysitting and siloed off and not fighting each other, who cares really?
Should we keep on talking? They're gonna be 5 belt era. They will have 5 belts.
Yeah, and then there was only like a 4 belt era for like 10 years.
Because that blue belt is the IBO, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what if they make that a major title? Now we fucked.
Yeah, then that whole 4 belt era thing is gonna be like ridiculous. Like they'll just mark you as like some old man if you start talking about it. Like for 10 years, like if you remember when the light heavyweight division was like 190,
Yeah.
versus like 175 and 190, and like Anywho, I'm just saying, like boxing does weird shit for a while, and then like you remember it and you don't remember it, and whatever.
It's kind of hard for me to not rank the guy number 2 when he got 3 or 4 titles though. Like that's hard, man.
I know, bro. It's because how do you rate titles? Like there's a certain point when titles are now became worth less, right? Like if you had all right, so I am from the 2-belt era. That's when I was a fanboy, fell in love with the fucking sport, all that shit. When I became a serious boxing fan, hardcore behind the scenes, okay, fine, that's 3-belt era, right? But now we're in 4-belt era, so like it's even like the title's even less. As a matter of fact, the Associated Boxing Commission just ordered for there to be less belts, right? They're saying it's a violation of the Ali Act how many belts there are.
That's fine.
Like, but you want me at the same time, like value people getting a bunch of belts.
Well, right now, because that's the criteria, you have to value it.
Yeah, but it's a criteria that's from the old era. That's what I'm saying. It's not the same thing. Like a belt used to be, like what it used to mean was that you fought everybody all the way up, and then you beat the damn champ. That is not what is happening. If you look at the best fighters in the sport, they're in different sanctioning bodies. Champions are not ranked. None of that shit. Like you got like Emmanuel Char and all these fucking weirdos. You know, I don't know what I'm supposed to say about it. Like, what am I like?
Okay, what I can say is this,
if I don't respect your reign to beat your path to the title, how am I supposed to respect the title?
This is what I can say, because I'm like you. I grew up in the 2-belt era. I'm not old, so you know it's a generation before us that grew up in a 1-belt era, right? So those guys that grew up in a 1-belt era, it was more clarification for them, like way more. They knew the man that had the title was the man. It wasn't no other trinkets out there, right? So by the time we started watching boxing,
people dead though, bro.
I get it,
back 80 years.
No. But I'm saying by the time we started watching boxing, it was 2 belts.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So now as we continue watching boxing, 3, now it's 4 titles. So I look at all the titles. Unless you got all of them, I look at those titles as you beat number 1 contenders. So if you got 3 titles, you beat 3 number 1 contenders.
But often you're not. Like Charles Martin was not a top contender, right? That dude was a recipient of a bunch of politics, and then even when he got his belt,
he won a title.
He was recipient of like a weirdo accident, like in the early fight that wasn't even the result of a punch.
Yeah.
Like who knows who the fuck like what Charles Martin is?
Well, we know what Charles Martin is.
I'm just saying, like as a champion, like it was just kind of what am I supposed to say about this? What am I supposed to say about a guy who gets a vacant title against Andy Ruiz and then defended against Pianetta and Huey Fury in like close fucking fights? Like not the Pianetta fight, but he did go 12 with Pianetta and like nip and tuck with Huey Fury. Like, what am I supposed to say about this guy? Yes, AJ got a title. Cool.
Tough,
who gives a fuck?
It's tough. It's a tough one. I look at it like this: unless you undisputed, it's hard pressed for me to call you a champion unless you undisputed.
Yeah, I'm saying like that's why this whole number 2 thing. I'm not even trying to go here with these fucking people because I think the game. They're me through my paces. Like what dudes need to do is fight. So I number 2. Not that I'm like chopping it up with you guys for 15 hours about it.
Well, we know that Tyson Fury is number 1, right?
Yes, we know that. I mean, I figured that's I think so. But like people are saying George Gambosis is number 1 now.
Oh, because he beat Tio?
He got more belts. Yeah, because he got more belts. And he beat Tio, right?
Didn't Tio? Hold on. Okay, so let me see. Let me go back a little bit. So Lomachenko had 2 titles when he fought Tio, right?
Yes.
Okay, Tio had 1. Okay, so when Lomachenko won those 2 titles, who was the man at lightweight at that time?
Loma.
No, I'm talking about before he won the 2 titles. Who was the man at lightweight? Who was
Linares?
Linares was considered the best. So he beat Linares.
Linares was kind of the long reigning champion. He wasn't fighting nobody. He was over in fucking Europe, not fighting anybody, but he was the long reigning champion.
Okay, so Lomachenko beat him, right? So essentially, Lomachenko beat the man. Would you say that Lomachenko beat the man?
Yeah, I mean the oldest reigning champion, sure.
Okay, so Lomachenko. Let's just say Lomachenko beat the man. Now Tio beat Lomachenko, who beat the man. So when Kambosos beat Tio, he beat the man to beat the man to beat the man. So I guess Kambosos got a claim to be number 1 in lightweight. You got a claim when you start looking at it that way. When you start, doing a little bit, man, who beat the man, who beat the man, who beat the man. I guess he is number 1. I guess he is number 1. I mean, he got a claim more than it, just as much as claim as who? Devin Haney. who got the other belt, right?
So Kambosos beat the man who beat the man, in a manner of speaking. So
Yeah.
So you can legitimately consider him the top guy because he beat the former top guy, who beat the top guy, who beat the top guy.
There you go. That's what I said. So yeah, he got a claim to it.
That's the problem with Anthony Joshua and putting him in the Hall of Fame. He's never done that. He's never beat the top guy heavyweight, and that's a problem.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say he never. Yeah, he never beat the man that beat the man that beat the man, because the man that beat the man that beat the man was Tyson Fury.
Exactly. And
okay, then Tyson Fury retired or whatever he did. So I guess, can you say at that time when Tyson Fury was retired that Wilder was the man? Because Wilder got his title before Joshua. So can you say Wilder was the man at the time when Tyson Fury was retired?
Prior to Tyson Fury beating Deontay Wilder, prior to Tyson Fury beating Vladimir Klitschko, Deontay Wilder had beat Romain Stiverne, who at the time was the number 2 heavyweight in the world. So that, in my mind, makes Deontay Wilder the number 2 heavyweight in the world.
Okay.
Right? So then Tyson Fury beats Vladimir Klitschko. That makes Tyson Fury the number 1 heavyweight in the world.
Yep.
So if Fury retires,
that makes Wilder number 1?
Then Wilder kind of inherits that position.
Okay.
Right? But either way, whether you want to make Wilder the number 1 heavyweight in the world or not, the fact remains Anthony Joshua has never beaten the number 1 heavyweight.
True.
So in my mind, it's kind of difficult to place him in the Hall of Fame when you're lacking this important credential.
Okay. So is any heavyweight in the Hall of Fame that they haven't beat the man to beat the man? I'm pretty sure it is.
There probably are. There probably are. I mean,
so according to Ring Magazine, right? It was Wilder Fury who were fighting for it. Like AJ's never fought for the ring belt.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
You know, like his title fights have been against who the hell knows how Charles Martin lucked up, right? Like the boxing guys lucked up to, you know, whatever. He got a title. Vladimir Klitschko petitioned the WBA for make that a title fight when the dude was inactive and lost.
Hold on. The reason why they fought for the ring belt was because they considered it had nothing to do with Wilder. Tyson Fury was considered to be lineal. That's why he had the ring belt.
Okay, no, that's not why. Because it wasn't on the line.
So he didn't beat Vladimir Klitschko.
Yes, he did beat Vladimir Klitschko.
Okay,
and then he went
when he beat Vladimir Klitschko, they said he was lineal. He was a lineal champion.
I understand what you're saying, but the ring belt wasn't on the line the first time. The ring belt was only on the line the second time. So that whole beating Vladimir Klitschko doesn't matter. That's my point.
My point is this right here. Tyson Fury was lineal, correct?
He was a ring belt lineal, not the lineal, but the ring belt lineal.
Okay, that's just what I'm trying to explain to you. Whether it was on the line, whether it was on the line or not, Tyson Fury was the ring belt lineal. It had nothing to do with Deontay Wilder.
The ring belt lineal, you lose. Like if you're inactive for 2 years, you're no longer the ring belt lineal. That was just what Tyson Fury was going around telling people. The ring belt actually, that's why it's not really a lineal champion. Like the lineal champion is always the man who beats the man, and that's how you're the champion. The ring belt, however, if you lose that, you're no longer the lineal champion.
Who was the man? Who was the man then?
Okay, hold on.
We haven't had one since Lennox Lewis because
Lennox Lewis was the last one. Lennox Lewis retired. So
and we haven't had another undisputed since then.
Klitschko brothers both
and now all we have is the ring belt.
Hold on, the Klitschko brothers. The Klitschko brothers started reigning at the same time, so we had no lineal. We had no man to beat the man because they reigned at the same time. Then his older brother just said, "Okay, I'll retire," and he let the WBC title go. So I think at that time the public can elevate Klitschko to the lineal champion because you have to give somebody the lineal champion when somebody retires. Hold on. Let me finish. Smoke. Let me finish because it's a precedent in history where it happened. So you can say the public can say that now Klitschko is the man we can say he's the man because he can never fight Lennox Lewis for the man to beat the man because the man ain't coming back. So you got to elevate somebody.
That's not how the next. But that's not how the next reign starts, right? The next reign starts when there's another undisputed guy.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not like so. So what happened? What happened with the Klitschko's? Like you were saying, Lennox Lewis was the guy, and then he beat Vladimir Klitschko. But I mean, Vitaly. He beat Vitaly and then retired, right? But since Vitaly was the last guy that he fought, then they were talking about giving it to they were talking about giving it to Vitaly since Lennox retired, right? But then Vitaly retired, and so they had this guy Shagayev who was supposed to fight Vitaly fight Vladimir for the ring belt. And that's how Vladimir became the ring champion against Shagayev, right? And then he had that reign, and then Tyson Fury stopped that reign and became the ring champion. But then he tested for whatever test he got his license stripped. You know, we all know the whole story. So not only was it a drugs test, which strips you of the ring belt, but it was also a long layover, which strips you from the ring belt. So that whole ring lineal thing, which is a bunch of bullshit that Tyson Fury was talking about to sell
we
people
never established another bloodline. Another
bloodline to sell you on something. But then after the second, like after they had their first fight and it was all scintillating and all that stuff, and AJ lost to Andy Ruiz, the ring belt said, okay, great. So these guys are definitely whoever wins this is definitely going to be the man, right? And then Tyson Fury won that in a rematch. So like right now he is the guy, the number one guy, but who's number two?
So I get what you look, that's a great breakdown. And like you just said, a bloodline has not started again because we don't have an undisputed. Once the undisputed comes, he will be the man. He will be the man, and then whoever beat him will be the man that beat the man. And then we'll start all over with the man that beat the man. True.
Yeah, the next undisputed will be the man.
Yeah. You're right about that. Yeah, because I did a video about that Tyson Fury doesn't really have a claim to lineal like he say he does because no bloodline has not been established because it's not an undisputed champion since Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis actually he retired with that honor.
So there's an argument for and there's an argument against. Now, you can argue that Tyson Fury, when he fought Vladimir, that was for the lineal championship. There's an argument for against that. There's an argument against that. You can also argue, and I think there's a lot of merit in the argument that the rematch between Fury and Wilder was for the legitimate lineal championship because they were the top two heavyweights in the world at that time, seeing as that Anthony Joshua was coming off that loss to Andy Ruiz. So I think there's a good argument to be made that Tyson Fury is the legitimate lineal champion at heavyweight.
That's okay.
I think their ring belt's nice, right? I mean, ring belt's cool. That's definitely shows you you're number one, right? I mean, that is a kind of lineal.
Man, hey, this was a great discussion, man. Hey, thank y'all for coming on, man. I'm gonna close this out and get me some sleep. I got a cold like a motherfucker, man. But yeah, thank y'all for coming through, man. It was a good discussion. Probably a light up another one tomorrow. Hey, Fight Doctor, did you get my message about joining the panel, or did you just see?
No, I saw the message in
okay.
WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, but Hangouts.
Because I know you know about a lot about the heavyweights, don't you?
I wouldn't say I know a lot about heavyweights, but I mean I've been watching boxing since the mid '80s. So in fact, I've been watching boxing since the late '70s.
Yeah. I'm 45. I've been watching the first. Now I'm not gonna say I was watching with experienced eyes, but the first one I remember is my uncles discussing or trying to get at each other necks about the Sugar Ray Leonard Hagler fight. That's the first I remember them drinking 40 ounces in a room, smoke with cigarettes and all that stuff, and I'm walking around probably like, I think at the time I was like 6 or 7 or something like that, or somewhere up in there. And I heard them arguing about who gonna win. Half was for Sugar Ray Leonard, half was for Hagler.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
that fight. I remember all the fallout after the result was read.
Yes, yes. Now the fight that I really, really, really distinctly remember when I was probably like 12, when I seen Sugar Ray Leonard get beat up by what's the name, and me and my sisters cried on the couch because
Michael
he got
Nunn.
beat. No, not Michael Nunn. Terry Norris.
Terry Norris.
When he got beat up by Terry Norris, we were crying like babies because we liked Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I remember that. I remember when Tyson lost. My uncle called that. I don't know if he really thought that Buster Douglas was gonna win, but he was like, "Man, Tyson gonna lose today." He was like, "Man, get your ass out of here, man. Tyson ain't gonna lose. You crazy, man." Tyson lost, man. I swear to God, because I thought Tyson that's the first and only time I thought a fighter could not get beat was when Mike Tyson era.
Yeah.
I was like, "Is nobody gonna beat this man?" And really, I ain't know nothing about boxing, but I'm saying to myself, like, this man's so dominant, knocking people out. Ain't nobody gonna beat this dude. When he lost to Buster Douglas, man, I was like, everybody was shocked, like shocked.
Yeah, it was incredible.
That's all I can say.
Because nobody saw that coming.
Man, it was.
Hey, look, and I distinctly remember about the count. Was the count long or was it not long?
Yeah, so that was Don King talking a bunch of nonsense about that was a long count. It wasn't a long count. Don King talking about 10 seconds. It's not 10 seconds. It's 10 count.
Yep.
There's a difference.
See, that's when I learned about not 10 seconds, but a 10 count.
Exactly.
It's not 10 seconds because, ladies and gentlemen, everybody don't count to 10 at the same pace. That's why it's a 10 count.
That's right. It's a 10 count, not 10 seconds.
All right, y'all, man. Thanks for coming through, though, y'all.
All right, brother. Until the next go round.
All right, you too.
Shout out to Get This Smoke. All right,
brother. All right, Get the Smoke, man. Thanks for coming through, man. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? What's up? Yeah, thanks for coming through. The one that cried like a baby, Ali versus Spinks, baby. Watched it live, CBS TV. I was hurt.
Oh yeah, Ali versus Spinks.
Yeah, I was hurt, man. I was hurt.
Hey, that was a weird fight, man. Ali was so deteriorated, man. Like, wow. Look, I understand he was still fighting because he needed money or whatever, or they wanted him to fight longer. He missed the limelight. He wanted to fight.
You don't understand that. Like, when you're 10 years old, you don't understand that.
You said what?
When you're 10 years old, you don't understand that.
Oh yeah. When you're 10 years old,
I thought Muhammad Ali was going to, like, that he could, like, how you used to look forward to things in your day. So like it was just kind of like looking forward to him winning, right? That's all you did. Like it wasn't even looking forward to him fight. You're looking forward to him winning.
Okay.
So when that didn't happen, it's like, oh God, not him. Not yet.
Man,
my entire time I watched boxing, that dude was champ and he was winning.
Hey, I remember when Tyson fought Lennox Lewis, and my sister's husband was still convinced that Tyson was Tyson. And I kept telling him, no, Tyson is no longer Tyson no more. He was like, no, man, he gonna knock Lennox Lewis out. Lennox Lewis ain't no real. He's not from the streets. I said, they don't have to do it from the streets, man. Lennox Lewis got way more skill and he's bigger. He got way more skill and he's bigger. At this point of Tyson's career, Tyson is not Tyson no more. He was like, no, man. Tyson started getting beat up. This man left the house, man. He was like sad, like a baby, like sad. I said, dude, I told you Tyson is not Tyson anymore. They thought because Tyson sold the fight so well, because Tyson sold that fight well. I'm talking about Tyson put everything into selling that fight. He really sold that fight when he attacked Lennox Lewis on the stage and he was cussing out the reporters, telling the lady that he'll fornicate with her and all that stuff. People just thought Tyson was just Tyson of old. Kept on telling them, no, Tyson ain't Tyson of old. Yeah, man. But thanks for coming through, y'all. I'm out.